All right. Hello, everybody. We are live. Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of season 8 of The Sausage Factory. I'm your moderator, Pizzell. Hope you guys are all doing very well tonight. Before I do the introductions for everybody else, I want to mention the next Viewer's Choice live commentary. The link to vote on that is in the chat right there, or it is in the description box of the video. That will be our next Viewer's Choice live commentary next week. The winner will be announced at the end of this show. So get those votes in now. But joining me tonight, I have got Jay the Stingray. What's up, Stingray? How you doing, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
What are we drinking tonight, Stingray? Ooh, okay. Coke Energy.
Try out this guy. I'm out of coffee, so
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Is that the first time you've tried one?
first time.
Mmm.
This is the zero sugar cherry.
Yeah.
Here we go. Taste test.
Wait.
Not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. I tried one. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah,
Got to get those B vitamins.
got to get those B vitamins. I think there's some guanara in there or something too.
Yeah,
So,
however you pronounce that.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever that stuff is.
Yeah. But good to see you, Stingray. Hope you're doing well.
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, right on. Also joining me tonight is Raiho Magnifico and his feline friend.
my co-pilot Penny.
How's it going, Raiho?
Penny. I'm doing all good. I'm doing good, guys. We got a bit of a storm going on here, but I think the power's gonna hold it, so we should be all right.
All right, cool. What are you drinking tonight?
Forgot.
Frig off. Nice.
It's a East Coast IPA. Frig off is like a real Nova Scotian term.
The most
I'd say,
Canadian,
oh, frig off, bye.
the most
Yeah,
Canadian
that kind of
phrase
stuff
ever.
Yeah. So it's really good. I love it. It's really good. It's easy drinking. So
One of my viewers, Dave, he did this big thing for like Valentine's Day, where they watched like My Bloody Valentine and Valentine, him and his wife, and he literally went out and bought Moosehead just to have Moosehead while they were watching.
I don't know if you remember, but like a million years ago, I think it was when the remake, it would have been 2009, the remake was coming out. You were like always in my comments, like you gotta have some Moosehead for that review or something like that. So when I did it, I actually went out and got some Moosehead for the review. I mean, it's not difficult for me to get Moosehead, but when I watched it just before Valentine's Day, there, I totally forgot and didn't go get the Moosehead. It just took a little bit away from the experience.
Yeah.
Watching that movie without a cold Moosehead, but
Oh yeah.
it was still pretty good.
Gotta have that Moosehead with your
Yep, you gotta have it.
My Bloody Valentine.
Yep.
I believe the volume is good now. The volume was a little low, but I think it's better now.
Oh, was it low? Are we okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, and who's your feline co-pilot?
Oh, this is Penny. Yeah,
Penny the
she's
cat?
very clingy right now, so she might be in and out of the show tonight.
Making her first appearance on the Sausage Factory.
Yeah.
Ah, geez. All right. Well, cool. Good to see you.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, right on. Also with me tonight is Mr. McNugget. Andrew, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
What are we drinking tonight, Andrew?
Went back to actually, this is cherry vanilla Coke Zero. It's not bad, but I cannot totally dig the vanilla thing. I always think I'm going to like it, and it's not terrible. I'll finish it off, but
I craved. We didn't have vanilla Coke here in Canada for a long time, and so I had it in my head that I loved vanilla Coke. And like the day they brought it back, I got like a case of it, and I couldn't drink it.
it's weird. I mean, I don't know if it's because it's from the bottling, whatever you call that,
Yeah.
but the vanilla flavor in it is just off to me. I don't know.
A friend of mine said just add vanilla to your Coke, and sure enough, if you just kind of add a little, you can kind of put as much as you want, kind of thing, right? You can make a better drink, I guess. And I found it really strong. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
but I
fine.
love the cherry zero. It's great, but add that vanilla to it, and it's just
Too
yeah.
Mm. Well, good to see you, Andrew, tonight. Also with me is Gibbs, the Absolutionist. What's up, man? How are you? The Obsoletionist. I'm sorry. What's up?
It's all good. I'm back from practice in the nick of time and glad to be here.
Glad you're here too. You're the eye candy, of course. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm a hot piece of arse. Yeah.
There you go. Got to bring in the ladies somehow because they're not watching.
Yeah,
It's just
I
us
mean-
on here. So.
Hey, I get it.
I was literally looking at our analytics not long ago, and it was like 100% male. It's like no female. I was like, "What happened?" I thought we had at least a couple of ladies that watched the show, but no, 100% male.
I've definitely seen some comments for sure.
Yeah,
So it's got to be, but it has to be a small proportion, I guess.
yeah. Jeez.
I hope we aren't that off-putting.
But good to have you here, Gib. Hope you're doing well, man.
Oh yeah, good. Thank you.
Christian Hanna just jumped on. Christian, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Piz, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you from the Christian Hanna Hara YouTube channel. What's going on?
Yeah. Piz, I want to apologize, but I think you'll give me an excuse tardy on this episode. I got done running, got home at a good hour, got done running about 6:40. I was hopping in the shower, business as usual. I usually listen to my podcast when I'm in the shower, right? Catch up on things. But I was like, let me listen to some 80s playlists. So I had my little 80s playlist going. I'm rocking out. I'm finishing my conditioner, right? And I was listening to Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. I was like, okay, let's get done. That Loverboy song, Working for the Weekend, kicked on right as I'm about to hit the water off. And Piz, the 4 cowbell beats, I immediately went into the Chris Farley dance, and I just finished it, man. I had to finish the song. So that's why I'm late.
That's understandable. You totally get a pass there.
Bare naked, just bare naked, doing my dance, man. I had to do it. I didn't get the job though because they're Chippendales. So
There you go. Totally understandable. You've absolutely got a pass there. No big deal at all. No big deal. And joining me tonight is Lauren, visited by Voices One. What's up, Lauren?
Hey, zapping it to you. The pressure's everywhere. So, an interesting thing happened this week in that I went out to my mailbox and there was a package in the mail. And because it had a Kentucky return address, I decided not to open it. So instead, there was a homeless man propped up against my mailbox. So I simply robbed the shirt off of him. And so that's why I'm wearing this piece of shit from Public store that was sent to me. This is in no way an endorsement or an acknowledgement that anyone out there should go and support said business.
It kind of feels like it is. I don't know.
I just felt like Lauren, and just by wearing that shirt, Lauren, your horror cred just jumped like 20%. Which puts it
Is he a real horror fan yet?
getting close. His horror cred jumped about 20%. So right now it's at about 35%. So not a real horror
There you
fan.
go.
But
I'm fine with it.
But you're getting closer. You've got a really cool shirt. It's got the whole gang on it. Demon, Reggie the Reckless, Debbie Sue Voorhees. It's just just a lovely shirt.
It's not making it through the show. Don't get excited.
Well, I mean, some people would appreciate a free shirt, but I mean, some people are just unappreciative shits, I guess. But anyway, let's see what's going on tonight on the show.
It's pretty true that there are people who, don't mind having diseased rags thrown over walls to get them sick and start pandemics. That's absolutely true. So there is a use for this shirt.
Well, as long as you get a use out of it and you remember that there are people in this world who don't have shirts. And, anyway, let's talk about the Viewer's Choice live commentary, which we will be doing next week. If you follow the link in the description, I will post the link in the chat again for everybody. Let me give some shout outs to everybody who's in the chat because we've got a lively chat going on already. Joe Reese, Barbecue Network, DJ, Jeff Overing, Borderline 11, Chaz, 4543, our buddy Steak Sauce, Robert Long, Ed of the Motion Picture History Horror Fan, Dave Shaw, Captain Halloween, Movie Man 95. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. Dave Vanderhoff. Dave, we were just talking about you earlier. So yes, I just posted the link to the poll for the next Viewer's Choice live commentary. It is John Carpenter themed. The choices are Escape from New York, Christine, The Fog, and The Thing. And let's see who is in the lead right now. Very interesting, very close. We've got 54 votes so far. In fourth place with 7% of the vote is Escape from New York. Tied for second place, each with 30% of the vote, Christine and The Thing. And in first place with 18 votes, The Fog.
You know, people, you need to do the right thing here.
He's campaigning, but he's not campaigning. This is really like the most loaded vote we've ever had. There's really no way to
let
lose.
him sway this thing, man. Come on.
Yeah, he's swinging this thing.
You know, actually, I don't know which one are you. I mean, Lauren, you better
I can't
not
answer that question.
You shouldn't answer which one you want to be
No,
selected, because
absolutely
it will not be selected. Even if it is in first place now, it will very shortly be in last place. So,
Well, the good news is we still have some work to do, but that's fine. But no, I can't say what I want.
Rambo Rap told me he wanted to watch The Fog, so
Did he vote? Better
I'm
vote.
not sure.
so if you guys have not voted for which Carpenter flick you want to see us do a live commentary for next week, vote now. Those are your choices. It's very, very close. So vote now. And yeah. All right. So how have you guys been? Have you seen any good movies since we last chatted? Good, bad, or indifferent movies, really. I mean, Rahel, have you seen anything good, bad, or indifferent lately?
That's a great question. I don't even know what I've watched lately. Let me think. I watched Nightbreed for the first time in a while. I finally got the new Blu-ray.
Ah, the director's cut.
Yeah, which I hadn't seen. I had only seen the regular cut many years ago, and so much to the point that I didn't really know exactly what had been added. I know it's been reordered and some footage has been added, I believe, and stuff like that. So it was seamless. I couldn't tell what was added. And I enjoyed it. I always find the last act of that film is a little too fast. Like it just kind of cuts through stuff a little too fast for me. But of course, enjoyed the viewing because I love anything Clive Barker does. Pretty much, it's pretty much his fault.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else interesting that I watched. I know you guys. I talked to you guys about it. I haven't watched any of them yet, but I finally bought all the Saws. I didn't get Jigsaw. Sorry, I got the set without Jigsaw. It was on Amazon for a good price. And chatting with you guys, I realized there was probably a hole in my. I've only ever watched Saw. It's the only one I've ever watched, and at the time I didn't really care for it, so I kind of just wrote off the rest of the series. But I'm going to give them all a shot here, leading up to Spiral, and hopefully check out Spiral and see what's going on there, because the trailer was intriguing for sure. I can't think of anything else that I've watched that was. I watched My Bloody Valentine before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
The new Scream Factory. That's the last thing I can think of. So.
Was that release everything that you wanted it to be?
Oh, so good. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about the movie, I love the movie, and that is the best version out there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got the money and you want the best version, that's the one.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Could not agree more. Anybody else see anything good, bad, or indifferent this week? Christian, Jay?
I saw a couple things. I've been busy, so I haven't really watched much. But me and my wife, we did Pet Sematary 2. We did double feature. We did Pet Sematary 2 last night, and I finally got to sit down and watch all of Weird Science for the first time ever. I don't know how I did this, but I somehow confused Weird Science with the movie I grew up watching with my dad, and it was a Gene Wilder movie with her in it. I think it was called The Woman in Red or something, and I love that movie. But somehow I got that woman confused, and I thought that was Weird Science for some bizarre reason. But I adored Weird Science. Seeing anything with Robert Russler is a home run for me. He's such a badass, man. It's crazy, Piz. Robert Russler next to Robert Downey Jr. in 1985. I was like, Sydney, if you were in 1985, who would you say the star was? She goes, oh God, I would leave you in a heartbeat to have Robert Russler. I'm like, exactly, but somehow Robert Downey became the star. It's crazy because Robert was a stud. So it's just interesting how that turned out. If you would have asked me back then, I'd have said the same thing. I thought Robert would have been the guy that became the big star.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I love Weird Science.
Yeah. And what did you think?
And Robert was great. I met him at Texas Frightmare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've met him
Go
too.
ahead.
Very nice guy. What did you think of? What was the first movie you mentioned?
Pet Cemetery 2, which I'd seen before.
How was that release?
Dude, I when I was doing that last video, I looked at the back and I was like, oh crap, 4K scan, which was cool. It looked really good. I mean, it looked really freaking good. So it's a pretty cool little movie, man. Some of the music in it's so 90s, so it's a time capsule for sure. And I didn't realize Mary Lambert did it as well. So that was cool. Fun little movie. I enjoy it.
Cool.
I like seeing John Connor in there. So.
I think that was the film he did directly after T2 was Pet Cemetery 2.
It would make sense because I think Pet Cemetery 2 is 92. So I mean, if not directly, very very close, but should be right after. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't checked out the special features. It doesn't show a whole lot on the back, but dude, the picture quality was pretty damn insane. I gotta say, I was like, wow, wasn't expecting that.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Stingray, have you seen anything good, bad, or indifferent lately?
Has anyone seen Don't F with Cats
No.
Oh, I saw that
on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I watched that.
It's weird, man. I didn't think it was a true story when we started watching it, but I heard a few people recommend it, and it's pretty messed up.
What is it even about?
It's basically about this viral video on Live Leak where this guy, it's really horrible, but he vacuum seals two kittens in the first video and kills them and then plays with their dead bodies. Then all these people get together on Facebook and they basically just become internet sleuths and basically find this guy, and eventually he winds up killing a person. And somebody that should have been on a list a long time ago. But
wow.
Yeah,
is it a documentary?
Yeah.
So it's a documentary about this shit actually happened.
It's a documentary,
Yeah.
but it's almost set up like a true crime show. Because I didn't even realize it was a true thing, and my wife's like, "No, it just really happened." I looked it up. I'm like, "Wow, I didn't realize that." But yeah, it's pretty disturbing too. So we're all probably animal lovers on here, so it's really horrible to. And I actually looked it up. I didn't watch it, but that video is on YouTube, a bunch of different places, the original video that dude made.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty disturbing.
That's pretty shocking.
But I'm not going to watch that crap.
I can't believe YouTube would. That's.
I know. That's
on
what I
YouTube,
said.
Jeez, you can't even put a trailer up.
I got flagged for Uncle Goddamn.
I had a trailer for a 30-year-old movie on my channel.
Oh,
Hey, Jay, I want to say real quick, Jay, if you are a Netflix documentary guy or anybody that watches Netflix documentary, there's a documentary on Netflix called The Pharmacist. Takes place in the town I grew up. My parents know the guy that the documentary is about. So I remember I told my dad about it because he uses my Netflix account, and he was calling me up. I was like, "Oh my God, this is insane." I won't say nothing about it, but he's friends with the guy the documentary is about. I mean, it's amazing. Fantastic. One of the best documentaries I've seen too. It's one of those, it's like a 4-episoder. You sit down, you're not going to want to stop till it's over. Because every episode just more crap is getting piled on the story. So it's pretty insane. It's called The Pharmacist. Check that out. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, we'll
I'm
do it.
that right now.
Yeah.
Did you say it's true crime? Or is it?
Yes, it's I really don't want to say anything. It's that incredibly bizarre. I just want you to go in blind as a bat. But it took place where I grew up, and my dad's friends with the guy that it's about. So it's amazing. Just really crazy stuff. So check it out, The Pharmacist. Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately. I don't know. I should have mentioned that. I did watch a bunch of the Small Town Monsters stuff lately.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Is that on
I'm
Netflix too?
obsessed with documentaries.
Small Town Monsters,
Yeah.
Prime Video.
Oh, okay.
I think most of the guys stuff up there. It's Seth Breedlove
Mm-hmm.
is the director. Sorry, the pharmacist.
Yeah, there was one one on Showtime. Monty was talking about he was going to watch about the Tupac Suge Knight thing. I go check that out.
Somebody mentioned that in our chat today, and that sounds. I watched the Tupac thing the other day about like his last night and all the stuff that went on, and it got me super interested. So I definitely want to watch that.
Tupac's alive.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have.
He's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's live down in like what's the rumor down in like South America somewhere?
He's down in South America.
Yeah.
South America.
Yeah, and real quick, I saw a horror film I hadn't seen before called Nightwish from '89, which I really got a kick out of. Good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Fun
movie.
Is it like a slasher or a paranormal or what?
It's a lot of everything. It's a lot going on. It's got monsters, demons, aliens,
Wow.
ghosts.
Sounds like my kind of thing. What is it called again?
Nightwish.
Nightwish.
Is it an anthology?
No.
Okay.
And it has the guy I know, Ryo, I know I'm talking about, the big alien with the black tar guy, the big the beefy alien from X-Files.
Oh,
Brian Thompson.
yeah, Brian Thompson. Yeah.
Brian Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of his first roles, I guess.
It's a really trippy movie.
I'll have to look into it then. Nice. Let's see, Gibbs or Andrew. Have you guys seen anything good, bad, or indifferent lately?
I saw Sonic the Hedgehog last week. Finally,
How was that?
it's a good kids movie. It's sweet. It's mainly just kind of a sweet, cutesy kids thing. But I am on board with the conspiracy theories now. I must say.
What are the conspiracy theories?
That the whole, the whole character change was intentional.
Oh, okay.
There's no way that they did that fast for the money that they did it.
Well, the thing, if you watch the movie, this is what struck me is that the movie is centered around Sonic being this very sympathetic, sad character with these big doughy eyes, and I don't see, the original design, which they kind of claimed was like how they redid the Transformers and redid the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But those characters were kind of edgy, whereas Sonic was supposed to be more, like I said, sympathetic. There's no way the original design, which was so off-putting, could have got that desired effect. So I didn't believe the theories, but after seeing it, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I remember they made such a big point of like teasing his reveal. Like they would show like the posters were just kind of like his silhouette and just his sneakers and things like that. And then they reveal the most awful design I've ever seen of anything ever.
Yes.
He had these like little beady eyes and like his nose was like, I'm not even a Sonic guy myself, but I was like, this just looks awful.
Yeah.
And then, they're like, we're going to fix it, guys. We're going to take a $50 million pill and go fix this. And then 2 or 3 months later, they're like, oh, look, we fixed it. It's like you had one trailer with that shit in it. And I just think that they played that one.
It worked.
It worked. Now we're going to drop it in the perfect time. But I heard some say that it probably cost no more than about $5 million to make those changes.
I know. I was picking up random numbers, but to go back though, if you think about it, he's in every scene of the movie potentially, and you got to go and change. Like that's got to be a lot of money to me. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
How's it doing? Is it making money?
Oh yeah, it's
it
doing
was won 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me that like 2 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it.
I don't think I would have believed it either. But again, I mean, they've played up this fact that hey, we screwed up, but we listened to the fans, and you know what I mean. We listen, whereas all these other movies, they hate you, and you know what I mean. They call you trolls, and they call you toxic, and we listen to you. So come and watch our movie.
I really think they played.
So would that be a good example of fan service?
A fan service that worked. That was fan service that worked. Yep. Not to get off track here, Jason Blum did an interview recently for one of the horror sites, I don't remember, and he was talking about fan service. And his quote was, "Well, you're either too woke or not woke enough. You can never win."
Yeah.
And then another quote he said was, somebody asked him about the future of horror, and he was like, "Well, horror is really," I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, "the market is oversaturated with horror right now." And I'm thinking, dude, you're the one oversaturating it.
There's only really like 4 companies putting out horror films.
Yeah.
And,
There's
and 75% of it is Blumhouse.
There's a new Blumhouse horror movie out every weekend. You're the one oversaturating it, dude.
You know what's funny is I read that article too. He basically said the bubble is going to burst, and he did an interview a couple of weeks ago where he essentially said that he had seen what film? The Halloween Kills cut, and he was like, it was better than I expected, like something stupid like that, right? Yeah. And then he makes this comment. He's like, yeah, horror is really on the bubble. It's going to burst soon. And I'm thinking, are you trying to shoot yourself in the foot? Like, do you walk around and thinking like, how can I destroy my company? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, or he just thinks that he can say whatever and it doesn't really matter or whatever. It's also possible. But I just think it's funny that I've read 2 interviews with the guy in as much as 2 weeks, and both of them were like, he completely crapped on either the genre or his own work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like
Halloween Kills. It's adequate.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's pretty. It's okay. It ain't bad. It's not bad.
Pretty good.
I thought it was going to be pure crap, but it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I thought the going for a sequel was shitty, but I mean, here we are.
Well, he also talks about how, in that interview, he's like, I want to go after known IPs and then just turn them into horror movies, like he did with Fantasy Island, which tanked. And he contradicts himself every since, because he's like, the classics should be classics, and we're not going to touch those, except for Halloween. We'll get that one.
The only bubble that's going to burst really is the Blumhouse bubble.
Yeah,
it's the bubble he's living in that's not letting real voices in, because they're making every bad choice they possibly can right now.
They are going ham. That's the word for it. They are going ham.
It is amazing how off track they are, and they don't see it. Mm-hmm. And it's not about being woke at all. It's about writing good movies, putting something new and fresh and innovative on screen. All those things that they used to do regularly.
Right.
It's crazy.
Now they're in meetings going, is this too woke, or is it not woke enough? Are we? Where are we on the woke meter? Okay.
I want to see like a bunch of guys in like suits, like top execs, like sitting around the table, and they're like, "Okay, guys, we got to talk about our woke factor."
Exactly. Well,
our woke factor.
That's exactly what they're doing with the new They're doing the Star Wars Old Republic, and literally they did like a trailer. There's a group of people in a room, and they've got a whiteboard, and they're writing ideas on a whiteboard, and they literally wrote down diversity twice on the whiteboard. Once was not enough. Twice. That's how they're making Star Wars movies. They get a bunch of people in a room and they just throw ideas on a whiteboard.
So what is this, Old Republic? Is it a new movie? Is this the next movie they're doing?
That's what they're developing next. Yeah.
They're gonna do Old Republic.
Okay. Yeah.
And one of the characters better be allergic to peanuts. That's all I'm saying.
You're damn right.
I saw a really great post on Reddit the other day, and it was like, somebody had done a painting of it may have been an Old Republic character like Revan or one of these guys, these really badass Sith guys, and it was like, why have we not had a movie with like, a Sith or just a bad guy that's just actually bad, like that just is out to kill everything, and like, you know what I mean? Like we had this whole trilogy with Kylo Ren, and he never committed. You know what I mean? They had to bring in the Emperor for the 3rd movie to have an actual bad guy. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, oh my God, this is. Anyway, it was a really good point. It was like, why have we not just had a bad guy? It's like, yeah, even the bad guy has to be redeemed. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, Piz.
Did y'all ever play that game on?
Doug, go ahead.
Awkward.
Somebody.
Awkward. Who's going to talk?
Go ahead.
There we
Lauren.
go.
Go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead, Lauren. I'm thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm thinking Christian might be having some connection issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hate to break it to you, but that's how all movies are being made right now at the major studios.
Oh,
it's all whiteboards.
True. I'm sure, but I mean, it's why are they taking us behind the curtain to prove to us that, like, hey, we're completely incompetent. We don't know what we're doing. We're throwing ideas on a whiteboard.
Because they think that that's going to make. The media feeds the media. They don't understand anything outside of that world. So they think that if they start a conversation, that's the conversation being had. So to them, this was like a course correction. Look, guys, we're paying attention to what's going on, but they're only hearing themselves. It's ridiculous. This is part of the effect of the copyright revision going on right now, though, is we're never going to get away from the whiteboards ever again. We're never going to get back to spec scripts, which were written by one guy with passion in his basement. Never going to get around it. And that's really kind of scary. So I think like Star Wars is the biggest tentpole out there, so it's the biggest example. But right down to, the new Candyman, which, cost $8 million, you're getting that. We're going to get very generic entertainment from here on out.
I'm going to circle the wagons in the way that Lauren loves best. Sports.
I have a note on that.
So it's there we go. See, he's good to go now.
Yeah.
So people want to play the game of basketball or baseball by statistics. What's the statistically more reliable play? What's going to hit more often? What shot should I take from what line? All of that stuff. But it never once takes into account the reason why you play sports in the first place. And there's a feel, there's a heart, there's a component to it that is not seen in any stat sheet. So when they sit down at these whiteboards and they try to draw up what they think statistically is going to pull the most people to the seats, they've left the heart on that whiteboard and it never leaves it. I mean, it never gets to the screen. It will eventually implode. And I think that Blumhouse will be one of the first major examples here as they continually to pick off all of these major franchises that they shouldn't be touching. But that's ultimately what it's coming down to. Things don't have the same type of heart. And I think when a lot of people feel like they're playing off of nostalgia alone and like looking back to the 80s and the 70s for these good movies, it's not that they're not willing to see good in new movies all the time. It's that 70s, 80s, and even prior to that, obviously, there was a lot of heart that you can't statistically bank on off of a whiteboard that's no longer being included in the vast majority of what we're seeing take the screen. That's the reason why a movie like Parasite's so popular right now. It's not just because it won a big award, it's because people watched the thing and were like, yeah, this is a good movie. I mean, it's crazy. It has nothing to do with demographics. It has everything to do with the reality of what's taken to the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Lauren, I know you saw The Lodge this week. How was it?
I did see The Lodge, and it surprised me. I expected to like it because I'd heard very good things, but I was surprised to like it as much as I did. It's a Hammer production, a Hammer co-production, so it's really British, even though everything about it is American. But it is a really, really solid film. I gave it an A-. It's really, really, really a good film as long as you like the genre. It's not a film for the casual genre fan or the person who sees 2 horror films a year, which obviously is not our audience or anyone on this discussion, but it's very bleak, but it's powerful. It feels, I would say it feels like A24 light. And I saw everything coming that came. Nothing surprised me, but I was impressed every time that they went where they went and how well they went where they went. Great performances from everyone, including children, which is tough. There's nothing you need to forgive in the movie. Now, it's weird because there's been some really nasty YouTube reviews of it. And I just can't fathom what they watched. Or maybe they just wanted Underwater, a big action horror film, because it is the polar opposite of that.
I think it's supposed to go wider this weekend, but it's not playing anywhere near me.
Not much wider. So
Yeah,
that sucks.
It did fairly well for AMC. With when you see these productions that get picked up by they go through a distributor to a specific chain that embraces them and agrees to bring them on to 900 screens or 700 screens. What happens is they get a lot more money out of ticket sales than they would because the film was otherwise not going to get those screens. So the theaters are getting a much higher percentage. So what happens is even if it wasn't their top 5 performers for the week, a lot of times the theater ends up making more from it. So I think a lot of the other chains looked and said, "Wait, you made what off of the what?" And so you're seeing more go on, but it's self-limiting. I'm going to tell you right now, this film cannot go wide and do well because it is a dark, dark film. And I say to people, it's not a spoiler to say that this thing has a very unhappy ending, because if you watch the first 10 minutes of this film, you're going to be like, okay, this is going to bum me out. And if you're good with that, like I am, you're going to love it. I rewatched Hereditary this week because I picked it up for $5 at Target, which I already had the film digitally, thanks to you, Piz. But I don't know. Seeing it for $5, I had to buy it and have a hard copy. I don't know why it took me this long. And it's remarkable that I think part of the answer to me embracing horror films is there has to be a real sense of stakes. And that means a lot of times it can't have a happy ending. Because otherwise, if we see the happy ending coming, there's no stakes. So coming after as many releases this year that were so safe and moderating, I found The Lodge to be a pleasant surprise. Now, I also saw 2 other films this weekend. I saw Boot Part 1, The Haunted Ship, an Indian import, which I also gave an A-. Very different film. It's a very mainstream horror film, but it really did what it did really, really well and was really satisfying on its own right. And then I saw Brahms the Boy 2, which... Well, it's the Brahms, the Boy 2. The least surprising film of the year. And what I've been saying about that is very simple. If this film had come out in the early 80s, we would all have it as this nostalgic favorite from when we were younger people. And because it doesn't do anything wrong, it's just so tired. It is like that T-shirt you refuse to throw out because it reminds you of that really good concert you went to. But it's done. You know, it needs to not exist. If it had been released in 82, it's probably a B-, maybe a B. But as it stands today, it's a D+, maybe.
I'm shocked that they made a sequel to that. I mean, I saw The Boy in the theater when it first came out, and did it even do well? Because I remember that movie not being good at all.
It did well for its in relation to its cost, and it's a good example of people constantly scream on the internet that they understand what makes a movie profitable, and they have this idea, well, you double the production budget and that gives you what it costs to promote, to all the promotion and the release costs. And that's simply not true. Every film is different. Every film is unique. No business would run that way. Anyone who's ever had anything to do with business understands that you look at a product and you develop promotion based on that specific product. They didn't spend anything on the boy. Basically, it was something they put on the market expecting to fail, and it did okay. But the fact that it did okay and they didn't spend anything made it profitable. And then it did very well with Redbox. It was a big Redbox title. And I know that's very specific, but that was the time period it came out.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend seeing Brahms the Boy 2 until it hits some streaming service. It may play better at home, simply because sometimes these really average films do play better at home.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question for everybody. When was the last time you guys rented something out of Redbox?
Gosh, we lost them before you guys did.
It's very popular down over by me, man. They're everywhere.
They're still
Everybody,
around.
everybody, dude, I all the guys at work, they'll come up to me and say, "Hey, Christian, like, is that movie good? Should I Redbox it?" I'm like, "Yeah, go Redbox it." So they're at every Walgreens. Awesome. They're at my Walmarts. Dude, they do good. I swear to God. And
Dollar General.
Yeah.
And all these suckers, like my buddy Steven, he'll never watch this. He Redboxes movies and just basically buys them from Redbox because he doesn't return them. So that's what he does. I don't know if he's saving money or losing money. Probably losing money. But he has a stash of Redbox movies. They come in little clear cases. And he'll just go, "I like it, man. I'm gonna keep it."
I love Redbox. We didn't have Redbox. We had like the Canadian version. It was red though, but it wasn't called Redbox. I don't know what the frick it was called. You know what I mean? Like probably the Maple Leaf box or something. Anyway, but I loved it because I could get a Blu-ray for $2, like instead of streaming it off my TV for like $6 or whatever. Right? Like it was. So I go down and rent stuff all the time. It was great. And then it was at the grocery store too, so I could swing in there. And get some junk food and grab a movie on the way out. But anyway.
Yeah, for somebody brought up Redbox to me recently, and I could not remember the last movie that I rented. I mean, it's been forever, and like I never even see hardly anybody at the Redbox at my local Walmart. So I mean,
I see him getting used. I mean, I don't see lines, which I remember, but I see him getting used. You know, it's funny, if you put one in a supermarket, you have probably 115, 120 employees who are going there every day. It's not crazy for them. It's just not crazy to rent a movie. So I think I don't mind it being on the marketplace though, because it's giving physical media a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just I always wind up like renting a movie from Redbox and like not watching it in time. So I really like the convenience of, streaming or rental versus that, because, okay, we're going to do this now. Okay, now I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
I definitely like being able to on-demand a movie, and we get theatrical movies, which is kind of neat. I know we talk about losing the theater, but it's movies that I wouldn't get at the theater here. I might be able to go rent The Lodge soon for an extra couple of bucks. Because it's not going to hit our market. That's the kind of thing that happens on it. So I do like that. I'll pay $8 a month to watch The Lodge because I would really like to see that, and it's just not going to hit the theater here. So that's pretty cool. One
of my coworkers years ago, she forgot to return. She rented some horror movie from the Redbox and forgot to return it and ended up buying it. And she was like, "Here, do you want this?" It's about, I forget what the movie. It was such a horrible movie. And she bought it essentially because she forgot to take it back to Redbox. It was under her car seat for however long. So, geez. Colas Gay is in the chat. Hope you are doing well. Have a great show tonight and wish you all the best. Thank you, Colas Gay. We appreciate that.
If I can add one thing to that Redbox thing,
sure.
I don't know what they charge now, but when my wife didn't she lost that movie. Was it Catch Me If You Can? Morgan Freeman, The Magicians, and all that. Is that what that movie was?
That wasn't Catch Me If You Can. I don't think.
Oh, it was if you.
Now you see.
Now you see me.
That's $80 is what they charged us for that.
Whoa, it's not worth $80. That's for sure.
I'm sure it's come down, but that's the last one. We decided streaming was the way to go, so you're gonna have to.
Wow. Shoot, $80. My God. God Almighty. Oh wow.
And it's not even any good.
just one more quick note that doesn't apply to me at all, but I think you guys actually might appreciate it. With these titles from Redbox, you are getting all those special features that you guys are constantly talking about.
Yeah, but
you don't get that from.
But you got to take the damn disc back to the box.
How lazy are you?
A damn
Seriously,
lazy.
How
a damn
lazy are you? You're so if there was a Blockbuster open today, you would not go to it.
Honestly, probably not. Listen, not a Blockbuster. I was never a Blockbuster guy. I was the Ma and Pa video. If my Ma and Pa video store was still here, yes, I'd still go there. Yeah, Blockbuster, not really. Blockbuster killed my Ma and Pa video store.
Yeah.
It took me a while to turn around to Blockbuster too, as I recall. But it didn't kill our mom and pops. They were doing really well. The only reason I like Blockbuster is it got some shit that I would never get. You know what I mean, at the mom and pop store. I could get a lot of old Universal classics and stuff like that they just didn't have. So I did end up warming up to Blockbuster near the end, but it was definitely, I wasn't a big fan either for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I want one back. Nostalgia.
Well, let's talk about the Candyman trailer that dropped today. Did everybody get to see the Candyman trailer?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Anybody want to share their thoughts on the Candyman 2020 trailer? I thought the trailer wasn't too bad. It revealed too much, but it also didn't reveal enough. It was very whoever created that trailer, they did a good job. It seemed to reveal too much, but it didn't reveal enough. So
I just want to know who was I feel like somebody was sitting, like, I don't know, if somebody works for Jordan Peele or somebody, like, hanging out, and they were, like, waiting for the moment that they could put Say My Name in a Candyman trailer. Like, or in the soundtrack of that movie. Somebody was kicking back, like, they're like, my time has come.
Well,
Here we go.
Here is how good that trailer is. When I posted about it on Facebook today, and I had people tell me in the comments that Tony Todd is in that trailer. That Tony Todd.
You can stop it, and you can see his face. Yep.
And they were like, Tony Todd is Candyman in this movie. And I'm like, no. Tony Todd's not Candyman. Candyman is... Anybody can be Candyman according to this movie. As long as you get stung by a bee from the hive, then you'll be Candyman. So this is like a possession movie.
Yeah, like I think it's really, like, I don't know. Again, it does reveal a lot in a way. I think it's going to be really, it's all going to be about that artist guy, the main character becoming, potentially becoming the next Candyman or something like that. And I think Tony Todd's going to be there to pass on the mantle. Because if you look at IMDb and you look up Tony Todd on it, he's on there as Daniel Robitaille, which is, the Candyman's real name. And I would say that's what's going to be.
One scene.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be like, it's going to show up to, I don't know, hand him the hook. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's going to be it.
But I don't know. It seemed like a lot of people were pretty excited about the trailer. And again, I thought the trailer was pretty good. Anybody else thoughts on the Candyman trailer? Lauren, I know you're dying to say something. Jump in.
I'm not. I'm not, because you know what's going to happen here. So I think the battle lines are already being drawn the same way they were when the Child's Play remake was coming out. Which is that the people who decided they were going to like this thing decided they were going to like it, went in and found a way to like it. And the people who were dead set against it went in trying to tear it apart, and they found a way to tear it apart. The same thing is going to happen here. I know too much about this title for my own good. I don't think it's going to be a good film. I think that those of you who like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 may find a lot to like. Not in the gay subtext, but in everything else. I don't know. The themes of it seem really lame and lazy. It's a very socially active film. And they hit a lot of that well in the trailer. They made it seem mostly like just a horror film. But if you actually go scene by scene, frame by frame, you'll find a few hints. And there is a coffee cup that gets spilled in that trailer.
They did a very good job of not making it look social, like social horror. That was something else that there's another Blumhouse movie that's getting ready to come out that's been described as quote unquote social horror.
Well, there's that one that I don't know. It's not Blumhouse technically. They have a short film, or is it a? No, it's a full film. It's like an indie film that they're putting out or something like that. Some shit.
I forget. I can't.
Run, Sweetheart, Run is
That's it.
Yeah.
No, Blum are releasing that the same way they released Green Inferno. It's going to be in about 700 screens, and it'll have 1 week. It'll only have a 1 week window. That thing looks like a nightmare, and not in a good way.
But it's not even really Blumhouse. It's like
they picked it up.
Blum Light, like whatever.
they picked it up. They played Sundance. It got horrible reviews. Was being really torn apart, and Blumhouse picked it up anyway.
Perfect.
It's all right. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're totally not oversaturating the market. The bubble's not going to burst.
No, not going to burst.
So that is going to be the point, whereas I think the message comes loud and clear that when you put an agenda in a film, you got to do it really well, because I mean, the reviews that came out of Sundance of that title, the plot details will just make you like roll your eyes so hard you'll never get them back in the front of your face.
Perfect.
I heard something about it where the white male villain can smell the black female heroine's menstrual cycle, and that's how he tracks her or something like that.
Right. So she basically gets raped. So my understanding,
He's literally a dog.
Did you hear that, Ed? Bears.
Yeah.
so it's like he sexually assaults this woman, and then he chases her through a city, sniffing out her menstrual blood, and all the police and basically none of the white people will even acknowledge that she's in any distress. They just act like everything's fine. That's the movie.
Are you sure that he's not sniffing out like medieval minstrels playing their
The lutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
I mean, this movie was raked over the coals as being just a screed by the art crowd. You know, that this wasn't like the horror fans that are somewhat reactionary. I mean, look, do we go too far? I had to answer questions today about whether I thought the Invisible Man film was going to be, woke. I just think of that as that's a woman in danger film. Talking about its individual relationship, that's fine. There's no problem there. It's only if you talk about a group of people that it becomes a screed, right? That's how I feel. And I don't see the Invisible Man film at this point anyway. I do trust Juan Alto, but I don't see it as trying to make a statement. It's just a story about these two people. I'm cool with that. I don't have to see a message in that. But the art crowd at Sundance was tearing this film apart for being crude and obvious and horrible. And yet Blumhouse picked it up. And they picked it up after the festival, too. That's important. After the reaction.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I smell a minstrel.
Anybody have anything they want to add about the Candyman trailer, or anybody?
I trying to think. I guess I was lukewarm on it, really. I thought the trailer was cut decently, but I didn't really feel. The only one thing I would say, and of course this is going to happen no matter what when you don't have Tony Todd behind it, they had the voice of the Candyman, and it just fell flat for me in a big way. Like, he even they even had the "Be My Victim" line right there in the trailer, and it was just like, I don't know. They put some kind of weird voice synth on it. Again, I think they're just trying to cover up who the Candyman is in the film or whatever. So they put some kind of weird thing on it. But I don't know. In the end, I guess I was just kind of like, I thought the trailer was cut pretty decently. And but other than that, I was just kind of like, yeah.
I would agree. I just finished watching it too.
Yeah.
I just can't stand the fact that there's going to be another Candyman because I adore that movie so much. I just wish, I don't care if anything else got remade, but Candyman, no pun intended, it fucking stings, man, because I love that movie so much. They remake it, it's so good. God almighty, it just breaks my heart, man. It really does.
Hey, let's be positive for a second. Everyone can be assured that this is going to be better than the third film, though.
Oh, well, yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah. I mean,
it's got to be.
there's just no way.
You would hope so.
So there's that. One thing I did note that was kind of neat was the artwork. The artist, the main guy in it seems to be an artist, and some of the artwork kind of had a little bit of a Clive Barker flavor to it, which I thought was kind of neat because Clive would, he would have all these art shows with his horror art and stuff like that. And I think there was even some paintings of the Candyman that looked kind of like some of the drawings that Barker did for illustrations for the the Books of Blood and stuff like that for the character, which looks markedly different than the actual character in the movies and stuff like that. So that was kind of if that's the case, if that's actually in the movie, they actually have maybe some original Barker art in there. I think that would be a nice touch. But
yeah, I just watched it as well.
What'd you think?
So this is one of the ones that's supposed to be really woke or whatever you guys were saying.
Yeah.
The
Supposed to be very heavy-handed with its social
trailer
message.
didn't show that when I was watching it, but I guess it's hidden if it is.
Why does? Man.
everything's got people.
I thought it looked okay, but I mean, you really can't tell a whole lot from the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looked better than I expected, honestly. I mean, it's something I didn't ask for, but again, it is an adaptation from Clive Barker, so. And I think they took a lot of liberties when they adapted it the first time. So,
But yeah, it's a short story.
maybe it'll be a little closer to the original, or whatever. I don't know. Why does it have to have a message? Why can't it just be a good horror movie?
I don't even think it's going to be like the original story. I think if they're calling it a spiritual successor to the first film,
Yeah,
like
spiritual.
a spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
So I think they're just gonna I think it's gonna be
Who's playing Candyman?
That's the question.
I don't know. I don't know
have
the
an
actor's
opinion,
name.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know the
It
actor's
wasn't one of
name.
the guys we saw in the trailer, I guess.
Yeah, it's the artist guy. The artist guy gets
It's the artist
stung.
guy?
He gets stung by a bee and then he becomes Candyman.
That's what it looks like.
A mutant, a radioactive bee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Who doesn't like chain coffee?
Yeah.
He really hates Starbucks. But they kept that out of the trailer.
Oh, there is a coffee cup being spilled in the trailer. It made it, just barely.
Let's do a quick check of the Viewers' Choice Live commentary poll. Let's see what the results are now.
Come on, people.
Oh goodness. We are now up to 63 votes. Escape from New York is in a distant fourth place. Tied for second place right now, we have Christine and The Fog. The Thing has overcome The Fog by 1 vote.
Wilford Brimley.
So that is where we stand right now. If you have not voted,
Don't let me down, people.
please do so.
My diabetes testing supplies from Liberty Medical.
Let's see. E-Boogie, if you love The Fog, you better vote.
Hey, Piz, if someone were to log on like 7 times and vote, would it count their votes?
No. 1 vote per day.
From a single IP address?
Well, that's cheating. If you change your IP address, that's cheating.
Well, some people don't have static IP addresses, all I'm saying. There may be a setting from some people that is free on work computers if you happen to be at work watching the stream. Or just have a laptop from work lying around.
Or just a VPN, you can kind of toggle VPN.
Lauren really wants to watch and discuss Escape from New York. That's the thing.
Yeah, I can vote as many times as I want. I hate to break it to you. Honestly, I can. So
I could if I turned my VPN on, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cheat.
Yes, you will.
Nope. Let's see. Let's Invisible Man is being absolutely licked up and down by the blue check marks on Twitter in the horror community.
Wow, that was a horrible way to describe it.
They cannot love this movie anymore if they tried. And I want to go watch it. Tried to talk Jeremy into going with me this weekend to watch it, and he's just like, no. So, I don't know. I would like to see it. I think the trailer looks good. I like Lee Wanell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for the best, but I really would like to hear some thoughts from others, yeah, so far,
you'll have to wait till tomorrow when they actually get to see it.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
We'll see it here in a couple hours. So.
Nice.
Yes,
it's actually coming to my theater. I've been trying to see a horror movie. Like, all these movies have been coming out, and they haven't been hitting my screens. But this one is hitting. It's not out tonight, though. It's out tomorrow. So I'm going to try and hit it this weekend.
Anybody else checking out Invisible Man this weekend?
Definitely am.
Anybody else?
This is a Bloom movie, right? Another Jason Bloom.
It is a Bloom movie. Yes, it is Bloom.
This is the 3rd week in a row he's had a movie come out.
Well,
does Fantasy Island count as a movie?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what non-horror IP he's going after next to then turn into an IP. I wonder if he's going to make Three's Company into like a body horror film, or
The Facts of Life. Let's do The Facts of Life.
Different Strokes. They can turn Different Strokes into like
Mork and Mindy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Mork is like a xenomorph, and
Xenomorph.
Xenomorph. There you go. Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
Well played, sir.
We can end this show now.
Good night, all.
That's one for the books, guys.
Good night.
Xenomorph. We're done. And if they do it, they have to like CGI Robin Williams into the movie, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be CGI. Yeah.
Let us use outtakes from Aladdin. Slow it down using like audio compression, and it'll be fine. That company needs to just stop. They need to stop for 8 months of developing anything, reevaluate the marketplace, and just focus on making 2 good films a year. That's it. That's it.
I don't blame you. I agree.
I think the Invisible Man film is going to be fun. I think that we're so starved that we get hopeful when we see that trailer. But if you think about it, didn't we go through this with Hollow Man like 20 years ago?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, and I like Hollow Man. I don't think it's a perfect film, but I like the film, and I think I'll like this one. But honestly, I'm a huge Universal Monsters fan, and the Invisible Man films are pretty much the bottom of my barrel because it's just not really that great a concept for a full-length film.
It ends up being the same movie every time. Like, really. And I'm sure that I'm going to watch this and I'm going to feel like I'm watching Hollow Man or, you know, The Invisible Man again.
Well,
and I'm probably going to like it, but
my thing,
I agree.
I was doing a live stream the other night and I was talking about it and I was like, you know, if you had the technology to become invisible, is the first thing you're going to do is go stalk an ex? You know, I mean, if I'm invisible, I'm hanging out in the girls' locker room all day. You know what I mean?
Well,
You took the words out of my mouth.
so I think that, I mean, that's, you're joking, of course, but, you know, right back to the original Claude Rains film. The idea is that the process of becoming invisible drives you immediately pretty much insane. Like, all your faculties pretty much go with your visibility. So, I mean, if this guy was already, like, dementedly out of his mind, angry, abusive, I think the film's gonna be fun. I just don't think I'm gonna walk away thinking my world's changed.
But this
ultimately
one,
it's an Invisible Man film.
This one is different though. He doesn't in Hollow Man and in The Invisible Man. They turn themselves invisible permanently. He's wearing some kind of cloak, so he can be invisible and not invisible whenever he wants. So, I mean, put the cloak on, you're invisible, go hang out in the girls' locker room, take the cloak off, and then go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think there's going to be some kind of a thing where he gets permanent. Because, like, that's the whole, like, that's the toss-up of doing it, right? Like, he's going to get so into it that he's going to fuck himself up or something. Because if not, then, but yeah, what drives him insane? I guess, yeah, he's a stalker and he's got an invisibility cloak. I guess that's the movie.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
It doesn't. Yeah. The trailer did do one thing that pissed me off, which is there's that one cut of the girl. She's holding something. I can't make out what it is, but she says, "There you are," and she clearly strikes him. We all know what that scene is, like just from that half a second clip. I wish that had been gone because if they're gonna have to go with the cliche, don't tell us you're going with the cliche because you know that's final act. Just don't do it.
Yeah, that moment does look within the final moments of the film. It's kind of
Did Whannell write that movie too, or did somebody else write that?
I don't think he did, but I don't know. I want this to do really well, though, because I want Universal Monsters back. I wasn't as down on the Dark Universe as everyone else was. I would take the Tom Cruise Mummy film over those 90s Mummy films any day of the week.
Oh, get out of here.
No, seriously.
Hashtag Brendan Fraser.
I haven't watched the new one.
Because at least there was horror elements to the new one. Those 90s films are just pure Indiana Jones. So I didn't like the idea of the monsters as superheroes, which is clearly where they were going.
Well, I'm kind of okay with that movie not doing well and then this one doing well, and we get the proper dark universe where they just do horror movies with the characters. That's aces to me. Like, I haven't seen The Mummy, although I do want to watch it.
It's not
that's a weird idea to me. Like you're saying, it's almost like, what was that movie, Van Helsing? Or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, in my mind, that's where they were going to try and go with it. They were going to try and, like, have a team of Universal monsters. It's honestly like Saturday morning cartoon level. Like
Can you imagine the Suicide Squad, but with Dracula, the Wolfman,
I'd
Frankenstein's
fucking pay
monster?
$1 million to watch that movie right now. I would. That sounds incredible.
I mean, if they had hit the bed so hard out of the gate, I think it could have been kind of cool.
So the studio notes had it that the inciting incident that brought them all together was going to be basically the appearance of Cthulhu.
Okay, well, that's fantastic.
And
Cthulhu.
it'll never happen now.
No.
But I listen. I just look back to that period from 1931 to 1946, and I look at how much passion was and how much quality was in the genre, and we haven't had that since. We've had great periods, but we haven't had that since. If we could use these characters to springboard us into something that even approaches that, I would deal with it. Because as much as I don't like nostalgia for 30 years ago, I will take nostalgia from 65 to 80 years ago if it gets us to a good place.
Yeah, no more of this like ironic play on monsters. I mean, let's play it straight and still be fun. I don't understand why it has to be like, I don't know. It boggles my mind that people think that monsters cannot exist in a just in a real space without having it be purposefully cheesy. I hate that purposefully, like, oh, this is so cheesy, it's good. You earn that status by inadvertently being cheesy and people loving you for it, not, well, we're going to set out to add some cheese whiz to the top of this and they're going to eat it up. It's not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. But I don't know. The Dark Universe was what a fail that was. Do what?
It didn't have to be. They spent too much. That's the big problem. Is these are not $150 million budget properties. As much as I love them, you don't have to spend that kind of money. For $20 million, you could have made a great mummy movie that would have been scary and fun, and that's what you need to do.
You could have just done the Hammer thing, right?
Right, exactly.
Like Hammer did it. Hammer did all those movies over again in the 60s, 70s, and it was just straight, basic, cheap, got them done. That's what they should have done. But that's Invisible Man. I don't know how much it costs to make this one. They have to make
They're
a guy
overthinking
invisible,
it.
But
what happened to good performances by actors? You hire an actor to put a good performance on the stage or on the screen. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, well, why do we do these effects?
Yeah, well, I mean, look at some of the more recent, Universal monster movies. I mean, you had the Wolfman with Del Toro, that was just so meh. You had what was that Dracula movie?
Uprising or something like that, or Dracula.
I can't even remember what it was called, but it was
It was
Dracula.
basically like, the starting of the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie was like Dracula's like wearing armor and
Exactly.
the Vlad the Impaler story. I can't remember what it's called. The Dracula Uprising for some reason comes in my mind. Dracula Rising or something stupid like that.
And that Dracula Rising was actually a sleazy, like Cinemax style.
Okay,
Dracula
I'm not thinking
movie.
of that one.
That's why you're thinking of that one. But so we had that one. That one tanked. The Wolfman tanked.
Untold. Dracula Untold.
Dracula Untold. That's it. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Roland 666. So yeah, they've just not done. I don't know. They're just not doing them right. The Wolfman should have been good and should have done well at the box office, but it was just such a lifeless blah movie.
It was way too long.
Yeah, even Del Toro.
It's a friggin' werewolf movie.
Yeah, even like Benicio.
Know your audience.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro used to have. He had like a poster of the Wolfman. He loved the Wolfman when he was a kid. Loved the Wolfman. This was his baby for years, and his performance in the film was just like, oh, I got bit by a wolf. He's asleep the whole time.
Movie, man. Like Horror Hound did a huge spread on it, and I was like chomping at the bit. And then it had all those production problems, changed directors. And,
yeah.
I mean, Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins in a horror movie. It's gonna be awesome, right?
No.
Oh, but that was going to be like the kickoff of the Dark Universe at that time. Like for me, it was like they're going to get real actors, they're going to get real directors, they're going to make some real good movies, and then that one just so flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big disappointment.
I remember too. They were like, "Hey, we've got Rick Baker to do the effects," and then you watch the movie and it's all freaking CGI.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, yeah, such a
Waste of Rick Baker is what that was.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I saw an interview with Rick Baker where he said that, he was told the reason why he took the job was because he was told that it was gonna be practical stuff.
They
That's
just
why he
wanted to
took the
slap
job.
his name all over it, right?
Yeah, and then like he gets on the set and they don't let him do anything. There was one part of the interview where he said that he'd put in the budget like he needed hair for the wolf makeup, and like some production assistant came to him and was like, "Why do you need all this wolf hair? What's with all this hair? Why are you spending so much money on hair?" And he goes, "Because it's the Wolfman." So why are you spending money on hair? It's a Wolfman movie. Those are the people behind the Wolfman movie.
And our hair budget is through the roof. What is going on?
Yeah. It's like, why are you spending money on hair? It's, yeah. Anyway. Let's talk. Let's get into some real talk here. Okay. Let's talk about some serious stuff here. Let's talk about the best and worst fast food joints. Are you guys ready? Let's talk about the best and worst fast food joints. I've been thinking a lot about fast food here lately, doing the Jeremy Time videos. Let's talk about the best and worst fast food here. Gibbs, I want to hear from you. Give us some of your what's some of your favorite.
Go to the fat guy first. All right, good deal.
we've got to humanize you because you're the eye candy.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got to be more relatable.
Who are some of your favorite fast food joints?
Chick-fil-A. Does Zaxby's count as the fast food place?
Sure.
All right. I don't know. Maybe Burger King.
Okay.
Sonic.
Okay.
Oh, those come to mind. That's where we eat at a lot anyway.
What about some of your least favorite, the worst?
Well, I tell you, in my town, for some reason, our Wendy's is horrible. So I have a really bad, relation with Wendy's. And Checkers I've never cared for.
Oh.
I guess that's about it.
Okay. So you're a chicken guy then, Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A too, man. I don't know what it is about the employees at Chick-fil-A. I don't know if they're given like happy drugs by the store managers, but they are always the most attentive, happiest, nicest people. I don't know what the deal is.
I used to work at Chick-fil-A.
Did they give you
pleasure?
Did they give you happy drugs?
They just have a really selective hiring process, man, and you've got to go through really rigorous training before they'll let you have the job. But I was in the back frying chicken, so nobody gave a shit about my bad attitude.
Well, go ahead, Stingray. What are some of your favorite and least favorite fast food joints?
Oh man, well, I mean, Taco Bell is probably my number one. But if I had my actual choice, like I would go with like Chipotle or Taco Cabana, something like that. Of course, I love Chick-fil-A. Burgers, probably go Five Guys. I've had In-N-Out Burger before, but I think that's mainly West Coast. Really good stuff, but probably Five Guys for burgers. And thankfully, Eric's not here to shit all over that, so. He seems to think their burgers are too well done, but yeah, I love Zaxby's as well. We also have a place called Raising Cane's. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
What about some of your least favorite?
I don't know, man. Like we have Rallies. I think it's the same thing as Checkers. Gibbs said. Man, I don't know. They used to be okay, but it's like now the meat tastes frozen. It tastes like it's old. I don't know. See, I don't care for it.
See, that's too bad because I don't have a Rallies nearby me. But whenever I do eat at Rallies, it's always really good. Like I always like bemoan like the fact that we don't have one nearby me. But but I've heard Yeah, I mean, you and then Gibbs say checkers, and I've heard people online say, yeah, they're just not. And I don't know, maybe I just have a good one in the town, the closest one.
And like their whole gimmick is having 2 drive-throughs, right? One on each side.
Right.
Like, what is the purpose of that?
Just I don't know, convenience. I
It's
guess.
not
I don't know.
faster because it's the same number of people working inside.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And they never have a line.
I mean, dude, McDonald's. Like, I used to love McDonald's, but it's definitely on my list of least favorite these days.
I've really got to be in the mood for McDonald's to go to McDonald's these days. After I got that pink quarter pounder, I've just been like, ooh. With
I went
McDonald's.
about a month ago, and I got a pink one again.
Did you?
And I hadn't been in like 2 years. So,
well, mine too. And it's not just that, but I mean, I don't know what it is. There's 2 in my town, and I mean, it's just like the staff at both of them are just like stoned all the time. Like they mess up your orders, and they'll always you could be the only person there, and they're like, can you pull forward? And you're waiting for 10 minutes for the thing. Like there's nobody else there. Why am I pulling forward? Literally, it got to the point where one time they asked me pull forward, and I said, nope, I'm not moving. And I'm sure they spit in my burger, but whatever.
KFC also. I love Kentucky Fried Chicken, but the people that work at Kentucky Fried Chicken like hate their life and their job and everyone else around them. Because if you go there at any time, you're like, can I get this, original recipe? They're like, it's gonna be like 35 minutes, man. We gotta drop that chicken, and it's gonna be like 35 minutes.
You ain't lying. I worked for KFC for like 8 months, man. I wanted to die.
Well, go ahead, Christian.
I love chicken, honestly.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite fast food places, Christian?
Totally a Taco Bell mark. Eat Taco Bell a lot. I like Whataburger. And I gotta be honest, man, I have a Dairy Queen that's walking distance from my house, and I started trying to get food from there, just like the little chicken strip baskets and hamburgers. Dude, it's really not bad. I kind of like them a lot, actually. I really had never had a bad experience at Dairy Queen. So
they back in my day, the chicken strip baskets used to be a lot better. They were a lot. The strips were much bigger. They've like downsized them, and they just don't taste the same as they used to. They're still okay, but I mean, back in the day, they were much better. Much better.
Yeah.
Probably a lot less healthy for you than they are now.
Yeah.
But
I remember when I was living in New Orleans, we had a Rally's, and man, I get the bags of Rally's fries from the store. But it's not this. It's good. I got an air crisper or a convection oven, but it's not the same, man. Those classic Rally's fries, man, they were amazing. I guess you call them Cajun style or whatever, but yeah, I miss having a Rally's. I don't have that anymore. I kind of like Burger King too. I don't go that often, but my Burger King's horrible. So whenever I'm not in my hometown, I go to a Burger King because there was some kind of article like the worst Burger Kings, and my town's was like in the top 10. It's just horrible. Horrible.
Mine sucks too.
Dude, it's a shame because my dad loved it growing up, so naturally I went there. I like getting those chicken sandwiches that are shaped like they're long, right?
Oh yeah.
I love those chicken sandwiches. I really do. But it's a shame because mine it's just horrible.
Well,
you pull up to the window, 1 minute. Like you never get like a go. You sit there. Just sit there.
Well, you got to pull up, go park over there, because you don't have anything ready that you just ordered. So.
Yeah. Well, Jay, this was the best one. Jay, I pulled up. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. I went to Burger King one time, and I was like, this is the last. I had a couple bad experiences, but I love it. I pull up, the woman goes. She goes, go ahead. I'm like, damn, okay. I tell her, I said, I want a chicken sandwich. She says this. She says, it's going to be a full weight on that chicken sandwich.
A full weight?
I look at my wife. I said, Sydney, what the hell is a full weight? What is that? And needless to say, I drove the hell off. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I don't know what a full weight is, but I had a feeling my ass was going to be put in the car park.
You were going to be waiting for a while. Yeah. That's the one like you pull up to and you're like, hey, I just want a large Coke. All right, pull over there. It's going to be a few minutes. We're mixing the high fructose corn syrup.
I mean, what the hell is going on, man? A full weight. I've never heard that in my life.
Full weight. You
That's a
get
full.
ready.
A
Man,
full weight.
I worked in
Jeez.
food service for like 5-6 years of my life, and I don't know, man. I just never had an attitude like that. It's like somebody orders it, go back there and make it for them, and give it to them. You know, that's your job.
And get them out of
Yeah.
your hair. Get them out of your hair. Exactly. Yeah.
Not like, all right, motherfucker, I'll make it. It's gonna be like 45 minutes. I'm gonna spit on it.
Yeah. When I was trying to get work, I'll say this real quick. When I was 16, and once I got my license, my dad was like, "All right, son, start working." And I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" And my dad was like, "Just go work at a fast food restaurant. It'll be good for you. That way you'll learn you really want to like go to school." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me pick a restaurant I never eat at. That way, because if I worked at Taco Bell, that would ruin me. Because I love Taco Bell. I can't know what goes on in the back of a Taco Bell.
Yeah,
So it's like I'm not working at Taco Bell. I work at KFC, and it was bad, man. It was horrible. But I still remember that experience, man. I was like, I am gonna do something with my life. I'm not gonna work at fast food. So
we had a pizza joint in my hometown. The pizza was so good, but like you just knew that when you were ordering it or when you were there eating, just don't look in the back and see who's making it, because like the people that they had working there, they looked like straight up convicts, man. I mean, it was like the guy with the white shirt on that had 5 million different stains on it, the jailhouse tats on the arms.
they cook the best.
But our thing was whenever we would go there, just don't look in the back, just order, pay, and go sit down, because when you get the pizza, it's going to be so good. You just don't want to see who's making it back there.
Oh, that beast back there making those pizzas.
Yeah. Oh, geez. But the pizza was so freaking good, though, man. So good.
Oh man.
I've recently gotten back into I can't say I've gotten back in, but kind of gotten into Burger King lately since Jeremy's meat fries adventure. Those things are good, man. I don't care.
I didn't get to watch that video, but when I saw you posted it, I was so happy. I love Jeremy time anything.
Meat fries.
And when he was talking about meat fries, I was like immediately, I was like, the BK chicken fries. That's what he's talking about, like in my head. So I assume that's where you guys went, because I was just like, this is the best thing ever. Yeah,
so
I gotta check that out.
Those things are
not meat fries. It sounds so gross to me. I don't know what it is.
It sounds so gross, but
Oh god.
meat fries. It's like my favorite thing ever now.
I'd never had the chicken fries. I know Jeremy hadn't either, and they were good, man. He made me go back and get him some more today, and they've got some good shakes there too. Like I got like an M&M shake, and it was really good. And I was eating like their fries. I was like, their regular fries are really good. So I was like, man, I've been missing out on Burger King. But
Yeah.
let's see. What about you, Andrew? Some of your favorite fast food joints?
Well, I enjoy the Impossible Whopper because me and the vegans were tight. So, I have myself an Impossible Whopper once in a while. No, it's actually I would say my number one is Raising Cane's. I know Jay brought that up. Real fresh chicken, and it's only served to you nice, hot, crinkle cut French fries. It's simple. There's nothing else to it than that. But they have that chicken sandwich sauce. It's popular now. Like Chick-fil-A has it now too. It's kind of like an orangey. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to describe it to you well, but it's good. And Chick-fil-A is another good one too. My son was in there, they served us, and it was their pleasure, like it always is, to serve you your meal. And he had been tempting fate with this. They had, those ketchup packets that are like the little dipping sauce cups.
Yes.
He had been tempting fate with one of these sons of bitches, man. He was squeezing that thing the whole night, just looking at us. And we're like, I know what you're doing here, brother. But he finally put it down, and then unbeknownst to both of us, because my daughter is sitting across from me and my son sitting across from my wife, he picked that son of a gun back up, squeezed it, and that thing burst as this girl comes walking by with a tray of food. Somehow, like the ketchup sea parted, and it didn't hit her. She didn't miss a stride. She didn't stop. She didn't flinch. She didn't say anything about it. She just kept walking like nothing happened. But the whole rest of it like all went to the right and all went to the left. Well, all of the left went all over my wife.
Oh.
So she's hotter than a hornet. She's trying to keep it together because she's in this Christian establishment ready to kill her son. It was it was so great, but not at the time, of course.
Christian establishments are completely into that sort of thing. It's the whole.
Oh yeah, they'd be like,
It's completely Abrahamic. Yeah, it's completely Abrahamic. You're fine.
Sacrifice.
Sit on a mountaintop, and you know.
Well, listen. I know people whose lifestyles Chick-fil-A is fully against, and they're like, I don't care. I like their chicken. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, listen, hate is delicious. No question about it. That peanut oil, it's great stuff.
oh, good
What
stuff.
does it matter? Is that gonna like keep you from eating, Palestinian chicken or something?
The only thing I'll say is this: Sundays are an issue.
Sundays are an issue. Yep, they're not open on
Yep.
Sundays. Yep.
Because that's when you want the chicken sandwiches on the Lord's
You wake
Day.
up
and
Sunday.
Yeah.
Always want it on Sunday. Like,
you're craving. They got a big old hankering for that Jesus burger there, and you can't go get it. Okay, so the other thing too is not only
Everybody
fast
cry.
food. But does anybody else have a United Dairy Farmers where they are? Or is that only like hillbilly southwestern Ohio?
What the hell is that?
Okay, they're gas stations, but they also dairy products. Apparently, I don't know. It's Ohio. Who knows? But it's called United Dairy Farmers. So they do have good ice cream. It's the homemade brand ice cream. I don't know if they sell that around the country, or is that just around where UDF is located? Anyway, it's good ice cream.
Yeah, I've not seen any in Kentucky, but when I'm up in Ohio, my girlfriend is originally from Ohio, so she knows all about that. She's like, we got to get, let's get good ice cream at these places.
It is great ice cream. It totally is great ice cream. But like you were saying about the pizza joint, there's something about UDF employees. There's like this minimum requirement for clipping your thumbnail, and also keeping teeth, but that's not neither here nor there because that's not getting on my ice cream. However, when they pick up that ice cream scoop, stick it in, thumb first, and you're watching that thumb go whoop right through your scoop of ice cream, and you plop down into the cup you're going to be consuming the ice cream from.
Yeah.
And it's like it is so good, but they don't need to be in front of me while they do it because I'm analyzing that big gnarly thumbnail going into my my delicious ice cream. And so that would be my least favorite. I think it's worse when the product is good, but the service is so gut churning that you still want to eat it, but you shouldn't. Like that's the worst to me. Like I know places are crappy and I just don't go there, but I also know UDF's ice cream is delicious, but I don't want her DNA in it,
And you can't think about it because if you do, you'll spend your entire life like focusing on.
Yeah, just put extra chocolate milk in there for me or something. We'll just kill this.
Listen, if you're gonna get coronavirus, delicious ice cream is not a bad way to get it.
It's really not. No, it's really
You're gonna get it anyway.
Yeah.
It's coming.
We've all
Wait, no,
got it.
guys, chill out. Mike Pence is on the scene, okay?
He's got it on lock.
He's not helping me up here. All we got is
Rhino's okay. You're good.
Right after he makes the Pledge of Allegiance compulsory and makes prayer in school a thing again, he'll get right on it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the new thing. MPIS OKA. Make prayer in school okay again? Is that the new like red hat? Like
Well, yeah, that's the new one. That's good. Okay.
Oh, geez. I don't think that's going to catch on like MAGA, though. I just don't think that's going to catch on.
Come on. That's a good one. I need to write it out so I can think of a pronunciation for it so we can just say it.
Breaking my brain,
Hey.
giving me the abbreviation.
What about some of your least favorite McNugget?
Least favorite just out of a fast food joint is, to be honest with you, I'm a sucker for fast food, so not a lot of it's bad to me, but like the obsoletionist was saying about like Wendy's, like our Wendy's are okay, but our White Castles are awful around here, or Crystal, I guess if you're in the South, Crystal / White Castle. They're just terrible places to go eat. So like, again, I don't know that the food's necessarily terrible on a national level, but our versions of it or our restaurants are so bad that you can't eat it.
There's something about the two, because there was one nearby me. They shut it down. And there's another one in a town nearby. Both of the restaurants look like, I mean, they're filthy looking. So why would you want to eat? I don't know. It's like a requirement for Crystals or White Castles to just have a filthy restaurant. I don't know.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. But it seems like to McDonald's back when we had like franchise owners in town. The one that the franchise owner owned, there was one on one side of town and another on the other. They were great restaurants. I mean, he took good care of his employees. He took good care of his buildings. The food was served promptly, and the service was always, or at least majority of the time, for high school kids are going to be high school kids, but for the most part, they did a pretty good job. And then he sold them. They became corporate stores, and it was immediate. There wasn't even like a grace period where that kind of tapered off. It just was like, it was good service, and then nothing. I mean, they weren't worth stepping foot in again outside of it being McDonald's food,
Mm-hmm. What about up in Canada? What are some great fast food joints up in Canada?
We definitely don't have the selection you guys have. Not to say that we don't have a lot of fast food joints, but it's just the same ones over and over and over and over again. My favorite fast food burger joint is A&W, I think. I don't know if you guys have A&W.
There's a few around you.
There's a few around. It's a little bit pricier. Like, you can get the same amount of food at any other place for a few dollars less, but the food is a much higher quality. It's much more fresh. The burgers are delicious. And they put like a little bit of a spice on it. You can actually buy the spice now, which is pretty nice. So I would say if I'm going to pick a burger joint, I'd go there. For chicken, Mary Brown's is amazing. I definitely don't think you guys get Mary Brown's, but it's fried chicken joints. I think it comes out of Newfoundland, and it kind of like, I think it might be in a couple areas like Atlantic Canada and stuff like that. Maybe Long Main or something like that. But they have the Big Mary chicken sandwich, and they do a poutine, tater poutine with taters and stuff. Oh, it's unbelievable. But for the most part, like around here, there's so many pizza places and like local joints. That there's actually a local joint that I went to for years that kind of started doing a fast food model, and they do like Lebanese stuff, so you can get like chicken shawarma and wraps and all kinds of stuff like that. And I have a hard time not going into there over a burger place or something like that, because you pay about just as much and you can get like a great big chicken shawarma wrap with like fries or whatever, and it is spectacular. So but we just don't have the same selection anyway. Like, we did get Five Guys recently, and I think it's hard to go there, but there's the one that's near me. Apparently it's like every day it's a half-hour wait. There's a lineup out the door. It's like no one ever had a burger like Five Guys before or something. I don't know. Like, it's just, and what's weird is we have these amazing burger places that are local. Like, we have a ton of them. One of them is called, what's it called? I've been there maybe once or twice, and the burgers are incredible. It's very expensive, but it's really good, and they're all over the place around here. And I can't imagine how Five Guys can be that much better than that place, but this Five Guys apparently is just wall-to-wall people all day. So you can't get in and out with like a quick burger or whatever. But I would like to check out the Five Guys. I've heard good things about the fries.
It's good. It's kind of pricey too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fresh.
Yeah, like that's the same thing I would say about A&W. It's probably even pricier than that. And we have so many burger places that are like that now. That seems to be a pretty normal model here. We have Boom Burger. We have all these different ones that are just, it's like a fresh burger. So you end up paying $12 for the friggin' burger, but it's pretty dang good. Trying to think. I do like, I go to McDonald's a lot because I have kids and like they love a Happy Meal and all that stuff. So I can get, and we don't have the problem, like, we don't do, like, I hear about in the States, like, you guys can go, and I hear this, that maybe I'm wrong about this, you can kind of pick how the burger's cooked and things like that. Like, they just fry that thing till it's brown the whole way through. Like, you're never going to get a pink burger.
We don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I've heard that room. I guess it's a Canadian people.
Never want a burger or anything but well done.
Yeah, I never get a burger that's not cooked all the way through.
Sit down restaurants will ask you, like Red Robin's not a fast food joint, but they don't say well through rare. They'll say, you want a little pink or none?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but like fast food joints, they just cook them. They're supposed to cook them all the way through. But like Piz and Jay said, I mean, every once in a while you'll get one and go, oh my God. Because I mean, there's one thing, a fresh hamburger is not good raw.
No.
Yeah.
McDonald's hamburger raw.
We also just recently started getting, like, I think the fresh McDonald's hamburgers. Like, I think that's been a thing for you guys for a little while now, but it's just been kind of a recent thing where they said, like, they're like, we have fresh meat or whatever. And I don't even know if it's every burger. It might just be certain ones. But, every once in a while, it's nice to get a Big Mac or whatever. But like I said, the kids love going. I like their breakfast. Like, I can't turn down like a sausage and egg McMuffin every once in a while. Like that shit's just delicious. But Tim Hortons is horning it on that. Tim Hortons does. It's hard to call Tim Hortons a fast food place for me because it was always coffee and donuts. That was it. But they do a lot of food now since Burger King bought them. So that they have a ton of options. I don't really like their food. To be honest, the food is abysmal. But they do an okay breakfast sandwich. but other than their coffee and donuts. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a breakdown of around here.
Does anybody have big boy restaurants?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about McDonald's, I've never had a bad McGriddle.
No.
I've never had a McGriddle. They have them, but I can't get away from them. I'm like, I see that sausage and egg McMuffin, and I'm like, I want 2 of those. As soon as I see it,
horrible for you. So probably that you don't.
All of it's bad for you, I'm sure. But as soon as I see them, I can't help myself.
I just want to point out that this is the closest that this show has ever come to literally being about the sausage factory.
We're getting there.
We're getting there slowly.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Lauren. Tell us some of your favorite fast food joints.
I don't know. Like the entire time you guys were talking, I can't get passionate about it. Like I eat some of this stuff, but none of it is anything I'd rave about ever. I'd much prefer to go to a local diner or even one of those horrible chain, sports bar type restaurants. If I had my choice, I don't know. I eat my share of it. I'm not trying to be like an elitist here, but I just don't have a favorite necessarily. I'll tell you, I do have a least favorite.
Go for it.
And it's the one people always freaking rave about, and I don't understand. Wendy's. People always tell me how much better Wendy's is than their competition. I just don't see it. To me, it's just the crappiest of the bunch. But people seem to have a different opinion, so maybe I just have a bunch of shitty ones near me. I don't know.
My wife goes for Wendy's. She likes that the spicy chicken.
Yeah.
Which I have to say I don't usually go for it, but it's usually pretty good. I guess it's a chicken sandwich.
I like Wendy's spicy chicken. I like the
it's kind of I guess it's one of their staples or whatever.
Baconator. And you don't like the Baconator?
I guess I like a Baconator, but I would pick A&W in a heartbeat over.
Well, Lauren, you do have the luxury of having some nice diners in your neck of the woods. There are none. The closest thing to a diner in my neck of the woods is like the freaking Waffle House. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like Waffle House because they'll put the jalapenos in the home fries, which now I force every diner to do for me. But that's where I discovered that amazing. Jeff Overing actually just kind of called me out on something, and he's right. He's goddamn right, which is that I am a fan of Buffalo Wild Wings. Just because I love spicy. So I guess that's a thing. But Bob Tarhill is telling me that we can't be friends because he apparently loves Wendy's. And I just want to let him know this isn't an anti-redhead thing. I'm all about hair and eyes. I really am. But when it comes to the food, no thank you.
They have an amazing Twitter account. If you want to follow a fun Twitter account.
That is true.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to follow a fast food restaurant on motherfucking Twitter.
But it's not about that.
Do I want to know about their shitty food?
It's not about that. They just call out somebody. It's actually funny. It's comedy. It's a comedy account as far as I'm concerned. I don't think of it like that.
I will tell you because my area is just burger chain. To me, Wendy's in my area is the best burger chain. I'm taking Wendy's over McDonald's. I'm taking Wendy's over Burger King most of the time. I'm taking Wendy's over. What are some of the other burger joints? We've got a Hardee's, but I rarely go there. It's in an odd location near me. But I wish that there was a Qdoba, a Moe's, or a Chipotle near me. I love that kind of.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Jeremy does too. If there was a Qdoba, Moe's, or Chipotle near me, Jeremy and I'd be eating there like probably every day.
You just said a bunch of words, and I don't know if it was like 3 restaurants, 2 restaurants.
Well, it's basically the Mexican grill. Like you go in and you can order like a giant burrito.
We have some like actual Mexican places here that I love tacos and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like but we don't have. I guess we have Taco Bell in the mall. It's the only place I can think of that we have a Taco Bell.
Well, and this is
yeah.
completely different than Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, going to Subway, but instead of making a sandwich, you're having them make you a giant tasty burrito.
We have a it's a local place, but they got popular, so there's a couple of them around called Jalapenos, and they actually have a food truck, I guess, and it's like a huge salamander, and they drive it around town, and they've come up to work a couple of times and pulled up. Oh my god, they do you can pick like 3 tacos and you can fill them with whatever you want. So it's like pulled pork in one, you can do like beef in one, you can do oh my god, it's like that Subway style. Top them however you want. Oh, it's so good.
Moe's is the best, my favorite of the 3 of those, because the nachos are just killer. And I mean, you can argue that maybe this is fresher than that at Chipotle. I've only had Qdoba once. It wasn't bad, but I just didn't, I haven't ventured too far. But man, the nachos at Moe's are giant, and you can get all kinds of delicious stuff on them. I mean,
have you had that thing? It's like a pocket. It's a flour tortilla, but inside of it is 2 corn tortillas. They put it on there. It's like the equivalent of a crunch wrap from Taco Bell, but it's
I bet that's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, I think of those 3, Moe's is my favorite too, because I love their nachos. I love their cheese. It's really good. And Jeremy loves it too. I remember we were going to Moe's for the first time, and Jeremy just had this big grin on his face. And I was like, what? I was like, why are you so happy? And he goes, Mo Howard. And I was like, the 3 Stooges, of course. No wonder you love it. He loved it before he even tried the food. So,
he walked in there. He was like, "Where's Mo?"
Exactly. He was like, I mean, I guess he thought it was like a Mo Howard themed restaurant. I don't know.
Which it should be. I don't know what it is.
It should be. It should be, absolutely.
The top of it should be that dome cut, the bowl cut.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you guys, we talked about a lot of fast food places, but do you guys have a favorite like a foreign food place or something like that? We have a lot of that. We have a ton of.
I was going to get to that. One of my favorite places to eat is Panda Express.
Panda Express. So what's that?
That's a good answer. You're saying it wrong, Piz.
It's
the
Chinese.
Southern way of saying it is Panda Express. I love Panda Express.
Yeah.
I love Panda Express. I wish it was a buffet, man, because I could just keep going.
Oh, I could too.
Christian,
they give you a good.
Panda Express sounds like a website I don't want to visit.
They give you a good amount of food over there, though. So I mean,
they do.
Well, is it bamboo?
PandaExpress.org.
They do give you a good amount of food there.
Is it like Thai food?
It's Chinese.
Chinese. Okay.
It's like yeah. Dude, orange chicken every day, Piz. I don't know about you.
Orange chicken all day, every day.
Yes.
I love the barbecue chicken, and then just give me a big mountain of lo mein,
The rice,
and I'm good.
I need that fried rice.
Are you a heavy soy sauce guy? Because I basically just put mine through a hurricane.
Yes.
Not really. No, not a big soy sauce guy, but love it.
Panda Express.
Panda Express. Love me some Panda Express.
There you go.
Nobody mentioned Arby's. Nobody an Arby's fan in here?
We only had one Arby's. Actually, Cole, whenever we get to talk about Cole anymore, Cole loves Arby's. The guy loves them at Arby's. And there was one kind of near me, but not here near him. So whenever he would come up to my place, we would go to Arby's. And I like the curly fries.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I like what's the one, the BBQ.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, there's maybe one Arby's in all of Nova Scotia, kind of a thing, and we would go to it occasionally or whatever. But so I didn't get to have it a lot, but I did like the curly fries and the BBQ. But yeah, I probably ate there maybe 3 or 4 times. Ever.
I've got a pretty good Arby's nearby me, so I do like me some Arby's. And that's really it. I live in, Kentucky Fried Chicken world, central here, but I've just never been a big fan of Kentucky Fried Chicken, honestly. It's like if I want chicken, I go Chick-fil-A.
I loved Kentucky Fried Chicken when I was a kid. Like I went nuts for it. But I remember when I was a little kid, we had a Mary Brown's and it closed, and that was like my place. I do love fried chicken. And then now it's kind of come back, and it's just so superior to, like, it's like night and day. Like I walk into a KFC and I'm kind of like my stomach turns. Like it's not the same at all. And it's funny, like KFC is really weird. I find it's really weird in Canada. Like it's kind of like a half-baked version of what you guys get down there. Like, you guys have that chicken in a donut basket now, which is just crazy to me. Like I think that's the weirdest thing. I can't imagine sitting down and eating a couple of pieces of fried chicken and 2 donuts.
KFC just introduced you can get a piece of chicken sandwiched between 2 glazed donuts. They just introduced that. Boom.
Yeah,
exactly.
And or you can get the basket. You can get yourself a 2 donut basket with like a 2-piece. Like it's crazy to me. Like I was looking at it, and I was like, this is just getting bizarre. But like up here, it's like a half-baked version. So we would get something strange, like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's almost like they don't want to go full. Like they can't be like, well, we can't serve Canadians donuts too. They'll just be like, that's too fatty. I'm not going. So they like come up with some like weird shit. Like I'd have to go down and just pull up the menu and show you guys. It's like being half pregnant. I feel like they should just go full bore and have the donut basket, just like you guys have, instead of the weird shit they try to pull up here. But people go there. Like we have one KFC in town, and it's just got a loop of cars around it. I just don't get it. I just can't imagine.
Y'all got chicken between a bagel.
Yeah, something weird like that. Honestly, this is the kind of weird shit we've been having. Like it just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
They used to have the double down, which was instead of having bread, you had 2 fried pieces of chicken and then like ham and like sauce and their cheese. Now they've introduced the double dog, which is instead of having a bun, it's like it's fried chicken in the shape of a bun with a hot dog in the middle.
Yeah, I feel like they should just lead into that in Canada too. Like they should have that, and they should have commercials with who was for a little while there. I think Norm Macdonald. Did you guys have Norm Macdonald as
yes,
Colonel Sanders?
Yes.
Yeah, like that is Norm Macdonald is Canadian royalty. Like they should have leaned into that. They should have had Norm Macdonald as Colonel Sanders. They could have ran with that for years, and just the weirdest shit possible. He should be like, you should eat this because I'm Norm Macdonald and I say you should eat this bullshit. And then people would go, yeah.
Everybody would go eat it, yeah.
They should do it. Like they should have leaned in. I don't know why. But KFC does do well up here. It's just I can't, like I said, with a Mary Brown's close to me, if I was calling fried chicken, I can't do it. It's too good.
I can imagine everybody at the suit and tie people, the execs at KFC corporate, sitting around an office table or sitting around a conference table, going, chicken and waffles just isn't unhealthy enough. Let's give them a chicken and glazed donut sandwich instead. And they're like, oh, that'll
2
kill.
donuts. That's the best part.
That'll kill a lot of people.
The 2 donuts, right? So they're like, well, we have to put the 2 donuts in the basket.
Forget about the ignorance of like any sort of regard for health of this sandwich. My concern for this sandwich is the fact that those glazed donuts are the worst 2 glazed donuts you'll ever eat in your life.
Ever.
Yes, I'm sure.
But it would have been a really cool idea to like venture with like Krispy Kreme or something like that.
Yes.
And it would be 2 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Warm.
With a chicken. Yeah, like something like that. Like that would have been smarter. Because you're right. They're going to be the stalest ass donuts.
Yep.
And it'll be revealed when you get the basket with the donuts on the side, and you're like, you go to eat the donut, you're like, what the fuck is this? But when it's the sandwich mode, you won't notice as much.
Oh man.
I feel like I feel myself getting fatter.
I mean, this is a good conversation here.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is
I haven't eaten yet either. God,
This is what they come for. We got a lively chat. Everyone's here.
oh God. This is I mean, you only get this kind of talk here on the Sausage Factory.
You only get that on the Sausage Factory.
Only here.
that double down sandwich that KFC had was like hailed as like the worst thing that any restaurant has ever served, like worst for you. It was like your entire day's worth of calories in one sandwich. Like,
yeah.
and like, a week's worth of fat grams and stuff.
Hell yeah. That'll really get the blood pumping.
All right, I am going to. All right, let's do a little. This is your last chance, people. If you've not voted for our Viewers' Choice live commentary, there's the link in the chat. There's a link also in the description. I'm going to close the polls momentarily. So if you guys have not placed your vote,
And Russian bot, go.
now is the time to place those votes. Again, the Viewer's Choice Live commentary for next week is John Carpenter centric. Up for grabs, we have Escape from New York, Christine, The Fog, and The Thing. It's a very tight race between Christine, The Fog, and The Thing.
They're all three good.
Come on, people. Vote for that Christine.
So we'll give it just a couple of more minutes, and then we will close the polls, and I will announce the winner.
What really aggravates me about Taco Bell, I don't know if it's like if for all y'all, they pull some of my favorite stuff. They don't do it anymore. Like the Cool Ranch tacos. They got the nacho cheese. What the fuck are you thinking, dude? The Cool Ranch was the best. What is wrong with you?
Wait, what was that? Sorry, I missed that one.
They pull in shit. You remember they did a quesadilla that was like fried. It was a fried chicken quesadilla.
Yeah.
I used to get it all the time. I go and it's gone. Okay, well, give me Cool Ranch Doritos tacos. I love them. I'll go there and get 10, and I'll be my dinner. I'll just munch them. Oh, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, give me the fiery. Oh, we don't do that anymore. We have nacho. What the hell? What are you thinking? Nacho? What? Nobody wants nacho. I want the Cool Ranch. God damn it! They pull all the good stuff. I don't know what is wrong with them. You can't tell me it's not selling. Did Doritos want more money or something? I don't know.
That could have been it. You know, you never know.
The funny thing is, the Taco Bell, like, it's basically the same, like, 3 ingredients in every item they have. Yet they'll pull items from the menu. They're like, but you've got the shit to make that right there. Like, you just make it for
No
them.
telling. I mean, they do nacho fries, and I was like, that is so stupid. I ordered it. I liked them. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's like, you know, they'll keep that, but they take away Cool Ranch Doritos tacos. I mean, that really stung. Like,
I
that
want one of the caulk guns that they shoot the sour cream
I was
out
getting
of. I
ready.
want one of those in my house.
I was getting ready to say I was
Give
in
that to
Taco.
me. I want that all the time.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say I was at a Taco Bell not long ago, and I was watching a guy behind the counter literally putting sour cream on the food with a caulking gun.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Brilliant.
You guys seen this huge nacho box they have now? It's like 4 feet long, and it's like $10. And
I
it'll
got
feed,
it.
like, your entire family.
I got it.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah,
I did
I'm
work.
kinda too.
I did work on it, dude, by myself. I got a little over halfway, and I was in a hearse after that.
Yeah, we did that for Super Bowl Sunday. We tried that out.
Oh, nice. Nice. Very nice.
Sorry to go into.
No. I think you actually muted yourself, Stingray.
All I heard was a story to go into. Cut off.
Sports talk. Sorry.
Sports
all right.
talk. Oh my gosh!
We
Imagine.
should probably finish up on sports talk because Lauren said he enjoys it.
Way to have something on that.
Are you a big New Jersey Nets fan, Lauren?
Yeah, I love when they catch fish.
That's right. You're more of a Knicks guy, right?
I've never gotten caught for stealing anything in my life.
Okay. Yeah, we're not getting there. We're not getting anywhere.
I guess he's never stolen anything. He's never gotten caught.
Yeah, I guess you're just down with the Yankees, right?
Insert.
All right, here we go.
Last of my shit. Listen, if something really doesn't happen correctly with this poll, can we just fake it like last time? Oh, did I say that
We
out
can
loud?
almost make it. Shh.
Wait a minute? How did we fake something last time? I don't remember.
I don't know. What?
That's what she said. Did you know though that this is how all elections go? So this is normal. This is totally normal.
Yeah.
It's like the electoral college.
Especially you guys, it's electronic, right? So
Yeah.
the Russians rigged it. We're gonna end up watching I don't know, the Russian version of
This
Christine.
is like the New Hampshire primary. We could just make up the results later.
I should have put in like a write-in segment or like a write-in section, and people could have written in like the Invisible Man, or
Right here.
Or
buddy.
him. That's not a John Carpenter film, and it's lost. But besides that, it would be great to do a commentary on.
All right, I'm
We'd get a
calling
lot
it.
of views.
I'm calling it. The polls are now officially closed. We had 79 total votes. Coming in fourth place with 10% of the vote was Escape from New York. In third place The Fog. The Fog fell from first place to third place.
Really?
Frog.
I thought that was going to win. Okay.
So yes, The Fog is in third place with 27% of the vote. That was actually the one I was rooting for myself. I didn't say anything. The Thing came in second with 28% of the vote.
Christine won?
And with 35% of the total vote, Christine.
How the hell did that happen?
However, I did add an electoral college element to this section. And The Fog is Texas. So even though The Fog only had 21 votes total, we're counting those 21 votes. We're doubling them. So The Fog actually has won. And that will be what?
That's what I wanted.
Okay.
I think I screwed us by I was petitioning for people to go for Christine in the chat because I figured they'd do the opposite. But it looks like it actually worked. I wanted The Fog too. What are you kidding?
But yes, there you go. So thank you guys for voting. 79 votes. Thank you for the votes. And yeah, so
there was really no loser in this one.
Really no loser.
I went in and saw it. I was like, Sophie's choice. I mean, I don't know.
We have to kill someone?
Well, yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I had to kill one of the movies.
If he starts talking about
never
Pam
exist
Spray
anymore.
again, I'm out of here.
Well, the movie that was killed was Escape from New York.
Escape from apparently.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it was more. It wasn't more of a spread.
Pan cooking spray, especially ants. So any open orifice that is already open, they'll find after they actually have munched down on the Pam cooking spray once it dries. It really is a process only going to take a couple hours.
I'm going to bring some Pam on the next episode, I think. Just have it here for...
Just for...
Might as well.
Drinking.
I'm surprised. I would be shocked.
My
if we
drinking
don't
Pam.
I'd be shocked if we don't get a Pam sponsorship after this video.
Best for body disposal.
There you
A whole
go.
different marketing campaign.
Yeah.
All right. So next week, guys. Next week, live.
Wait. Read what DJ Donnelly just wrote.
I
It's
saw
not okay. It's not okay.
the Fog remake. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
All right. So you guys wanted it. Next week, live on the Sausage Factory, a Christine live commentary. Very interesting. So that'll be fun. But yes.
Didn't see that coming.
We covered pretty much all the topics that I had for tonight. We just kind of had an off the hip kind of show tonight, shooting the bull. But let's take a look in Stingray Spotlight. What we got in the spotlight tonight, Stingray?
Well, I just wanted to talk about Mad Max Fury Road a little bit.
Sure.
It's I watched it again last night, and man, I just love that film more and more every time I see it. It's just so damn impressive, everything about it. Knowing that the director's name is escaping me, but he was so old when he made it. He had been working on the storyboards and everything. I actually got a book that has a lot of the storyboards in it. That's really cool, and practical effects. Man, I love it. So great. It's. I mean, I dare to say a perfect movie.
Yeah, great movie. Loved it.
I didn't get to see that movie actually. I went to the theater to see that movie, and it was full. I had to go see fucking Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. I remember
Yeah.
that. Terrible, man.
And I actually have never gone back and watched it. I really need to do that.
You should. Yeah.
You've seen, so you I assume you own it. I've heard there's like a black and white cut. There's a color cut. What's the best one to watch?
Oh, I haven't seen the black and white.
I've not seen the black and white either.
I've only seen just whatever the theatrical.
Whatever the theatrical. Yeah, it was in 3D. It was a big 3D movie at the time. I remember Cole and I sat down. We had the 3D glasses on. We were right in front. We looked up and we were like, I can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
It was in 3D, but it was going over the top of my head. So we ended up going to see Poltergeist, which I don't know. I could have gotten disgusted either way, I guess.
It's, I mean, just the world that George Miller that he created with that film. I love the other Mad Max. I mean, like Mad Max 3, Thunderdome a little bit, but this film is just such a world. It's so amazing. Everything that went into it, the design of the vehicles. It's just so much to it. It's just so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then so entertaining. Like it's just action, wall to wall action.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Such a great movie. Such a great movie. Great movie. Yeah. I love the what do they say before, like they spray the silver spray paint in their mouth and they're like what's it,
chrome, something about shiny and chrome.
Shiny and chrome, yeah. And like the one guy's like I'll take you to the gates of Valhalla myself.
Yeah.
And good stuff.
Just the whole lingo, like they created a whole language, and it's so interesting to me. It's basically like all the races are combined, all the languages are combined. It's because at some point some of the guys are speaking Russian, and they just did that so it would sound foreign, like some of the guys from the what was it, the bullet factory or a bullet farm. Or speaking Russian at one point.
Yeah. And the guy that played the villain was also the villain in the first Mad Max.
He was Toe Cutter, I believe.
Toe Cutter. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. But Joe Bob mentions that in the chat. Immortal Joe. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, I just I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, I really love that movie, and I just decided to watch it on a whim again last night, and I just really completely fell in love with it once again. Just a great film. If you guys haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I know Lauren hates anything that's not a horror movie, so
I love Mad Max. I don't love Thunderdome, but I love the rest of the series.
Oh, come on, you got Thunderdome.
No, I don't have to love Thunder.
No, but they were gonna do it like back in 2003, but that's when Mel Gibson got obsessed with The Passion of the Christ. So
actually, it was supposed to film in 2001, and the terrorist attacks kind of pushed back. And then there was some kind of horrible tsunami or something that destroyed like half the set. I mean, it was the cursed movie production. So to come out as strong as it did, amazing.
Yeah. It's really, the editing. You know, his wife did the editing, and she'd never edited an action movie before, which blows my mind because it's so interesting the way that she's edited it together.
And they're doing another Mad Max film, right?
Yeah.
Is it with like the same? Is it the same cast or is it?
Tom Hardy's back.
Tom Hardy's back, but it's because it's been a while. Like that came out in like 2012.
It's George Miller. It's George Miller's doing it. So I mean, it's
his wife was like 78 or something when she cut the last one. So I mean, I don't know how old he is, but I know he's in his 70s. So I hope he's able to make it.
Yeah.
More power to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what's going on in the retro gaming world. What's going on with Gibbs? What's your retro gaming recommendation for the week, Gibbs?
Well, for this week, I was going to go with some arcade boxing. Rocky and Rocky Legends, sixth generation boxing game. Let you act out the movies kind of with some cut scenes and just kind of mindless fun. And a great tribute to the movies. You can even be Clubber Lang or Ivan Drago and see kind of the story from their side in the Rocky Legends games. And you never hear about these games anymore, but they're a good time.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. What's under Lorne's craw this week in Lorne's Scorn?
This isn't even a hard one at all. So I went to see 3 movies in 3 days. And I had a good time at all of them, even the one that wasn't very good, because it was better than I expected it to be, because I expected it to be absolutely horrible. But one thing that really became very apparent seeing 3 movies in different theaters in 3 consecutive days is that the lead-up time to a movie is insane at this point. If you count the pre-show, which runs 20 minutes before the start time, the trailers, the commercials, which the commercials violate that line. If the commercials were before the advertised start time, I think I wouldn't care. But they're not. Like, there's a pre-show, and then there's commercials, and then there's trailers. And I like trailers, I really do. But here's the problem. I don't necessarily want to see a trailer in front of an Indian horror import for the Disney live action atrocity that's coming out in a month. That makes no sense. It's not going to sell a single ticket, and it pushes me 3 minutes further back. I don't mind spending time in a theater. I am all for spending time in a theater, but can we at least have like what we paid for at some point? Because if you want me to come back, I don't need to see car commercials, insurance commercials. Now, if that's keeping the theaters alive, I'll deal with it. But do me a favor, put it before the start time, because I should be able to show up on time, see 3 trailers, my movie, and those 3 trailers, by the way, should be either in genre or adjacent, so that at least the people watching the movie might actually buy a ticket for it. But none of that happened. And when I think about this, 3 movies with the 40 minutes a pop dedicated to not what I bought a ticket for, you realize that I actually saw 4 films. One of them was just a collection of 3 or 4 minute clips trying to sell me shit. That's not a free movie. That's regular pre-cable television. I don't think I need that. And I think as one of those guys that's telling everyone to go out to the theaters, these theater chains have to get a clue. They got to get the ushers back in the theaters so that the people that are performing karaoke on their cell phone for TikTok during the show aren't available to my ears. And yes, assisted hearing devices, I'm all about it. I know, I get it. But they need to get ushers back in the theaters. They need to provide package deals so that you get a movie ticket with your popcorn and your drink all at one single cost price, so that more people want to go and actually enjoy a movie the way you're supposed to watch a movie. Theaters need to get cleaned between showings, because that's not happening anymore. I can't tell you how many times the first thing I hear when I walk into a movie screen is crunching popcorn under my feet. I mean, that's ridiculous. I expect the bathrooms to be disgusting. I don't have a problem with that, but the theater itself should be at least as clean as the bathroom. And that's not necessarily the case. Final thing, ceiling tiles. Can we get to a state where every theater promises that they won't have at least one ceiling tile missing from every screen? Because I don't understand how that happens. They're very high ceilings, and I can only imagine that at some point during a show, they topple down and hit some poor schmuck watching, that Lethal Weapon 8 film that's going to come out next year. I think they have to do a way better job than they're doing right now, because I'm a supporter. I'm the guy who wants to be there, and I'm getting fed up.
Does anybody remember when they started adding television commercials to?
I remember.
I can't stand seeing a television commercial.
It's actually
at the theater
gotten worse. I don't get to the theater enough anymore, because like I said before, I love the theater. There was a time where I lived for the theater. I don't get to go enough anymore, but I went to see, I think it was Rise of Skywalker, and they actually, instead of just having the commercials up front, they spliced them in between the teasers. So like we would have a trailer for a movie and then a car commercial. That made me even angrier. It's like if you have it lined up before, you can turn your brain off and do something else for a few minutes or whatever. But like to have like a trailer and you're like, oh man, this is a good trailer, and then a fucking car commercial before another trailer or something, that incensed me. I was crazy. And then and you mentioned the popcorn pop, being too expensive kind of a thing. My theaters now, they do this thing where I went in one day and I was like, where's my popcorn and pop combo? Everything here is super expensive. If you want to get a combo now for just a popcorn and a drink and like a chocolate or something like that, it's like $10 more, like that much more, because they make you get a rental off their website after. So it's like, it's nuts. It's crazy. Like I walked in, I was like, it's $25 to get I was like, and the guy was just like, just get a popcorn and a pop separate, like just mediums or whatever. Just don't get a combo. He's like, you can't get a combo anymore at a regular price, because they try to incorporate the cost of a free rental off their website. So you get an email voucher after the movie where they're like, you can rent a movie off our website. And it's nuts. Like I have one right now. If I don't use it by Saturday, it's gone. And I paid for it. I paid $10 extra for some bullshit to get the combo. It's absolutely gotten. I can't wait for Regal. Regal bought my local cinemas. I can't wait for them to come in and maybe make some changes because like it's getting outlandish. It's getting ridiculous.
My Cinemark that I love to go to, they'll do the television commercials, the trailers, and then they'll do like a couple of public service announcements. And then like they'll do like hi, I'm Bob, hi, I'm Steve, we're student filmmakers and here's our short film, which is basically just a commercial for the concession stand. What it literally it's like 45 minutes of crap. And I love trailers too. I love just showing. If it was just all trailers, I'd be okay with that. But the commercials and then the two people's short films and hey, get your pet spayed and neutered and don't be a bully and all this other crap. It's like what in the world is going on? I literally I don't remember what movie it was, but the start time was at 2 p.m. And I looked at my watch, and it was 2:40, and the damn movie had not started yet because of all of this garbage. I'd already finished my popcorn and my drink, and I'm just sitting there like, what the hell?
It's and like I said, I can stomach it when it's like it's the pre-show and they're doing games on their phones or whatever, and you just kind of check out of it, and then there's some commercials, and you just kind of check out of it. And then from like used to be like just before the movie, if you finally paid attention and closed your phone off, you get to watch the trailers and go right into the movie. But now they're doing this thing where they're like, oh, they're checking out, so we got to splice them in. Like that really, yeah.
Can you imagine if other businesses where you buy a ticket for a specific product did this? For instance, you decide I'm going to fly to Orlando. And they decide, well, yeah, but you're going to Boston first.
Yeah.
Because
you're locked in, so we're going to do this.
Yeah, we're going to fly you there first, then we'll refuel, and then we'll head down, okay? Everyone cool with that?
Yeah.
And Jay and I both have the Regal app, right? And it has really controlled the expense of movies. It's hard for me to really complain about that. But the experience is not what it should be. And it's not necessarily the other. I'm not even talking about the other, cinema goers at this point. I'm just saying they have instituted so much garbage to make side money that they're ignoring the fact that those of us who want to spend our money with them are now annoyed. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we could all just start some horrific, Twitter communication to these theaters, if that would do anything, if we could shame them into something. But if they want to stay in business, they got to hear us at some point.
Well, there's a theater that's nearby me. It's a ma and pa theater. They won't let you bring in a bag because they're so freaked out that you're going to sneak in food and drink. They say it's a safety precaution, but I'm thinking like, how desperate are you that you're afraid that we're going to sneak in food and drink, that you won't even let people bring in like a purse? If you're that bad off, close the doors. You know what I mean? Because it's not a safety concern.
That is the thing, though. It is that bad. Like, if you have a mom and pop theater, like, they get dinged constantly on just getting the film in the door. So it is kind of like at least with chains, they can eat the cost of somebody. I remember we had a rule like that at my theater for a very brief time where they tried to get us to if we saw somebody going with a bag, give them shit. But I remember there's a bunch of guys who used to come every Friday, and they would come with a bucket of chicken, and all the fixins, and they would sit front row, and they would sit there and they would eat. There'd be 3 or 4 of them, and they would eat. You would just be like, "Oh fuck, guys, go through, whatever." So they tried to do that for a little while, and it alienates people. Like, they don't want to come in because some people just want to come in with their whatever. You can't get it if you go to the concession stand at my theater, you can't get certain things, right? Like, you just want to go in with you can't get what are those chocolate caramel balls? Fucking, what are they called?
Rolos?
Milk duds.
Yeah, milk duds. You can't get milk duds anymore at the theater. But for years, for me, like if I didn't have a milk dud at a theater, like I wasn't watching the movie. But like, you know what I mean? So it's like if like for it, to some people, like they come in with their own shit, like things like that. But yeah, we I remember we had that rule for like maybe like 6 months, and it was a total joke. But the small theaters, they paid through the nose for the movie. They got to make their money on that popcorn.
What I hate about it is their stance of it's a security precaution. We're looking out for your all security.
That's big bullshit.
And my girlfriend brought this up, like, well, what a perfect time for somebody to just go around and break in all of our cars and take our purses because they know that they're not letting us bring in our purses. So let's just go break in everybody. You know.
No, that's just being they're trying to cover it up. And they're not doing a good job. Like it's literally about the concession stand.
Yeah.
We need you to buy this food, or we're gonna go. Like, just be like, please buy our popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just say it. Say it.
Yeah,
say it.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But you see, that's what's so frustrating because, like, just like we said earlier, if the theater chain or even the mom and pop is so focused on this week's big release that's going to sell out their theater for the weekend, but they're getting 5% of the ticket, which is not covering their costs. What's the point? They need to step back and change the industry by going after those products that are going to sell less tickets, but they actually can make some money on. It's all part of the same problem. They're focused on the wrong things, and the industry is pushing everything towards that first big weekend. We need to report that because this is 60% of what this film is going to make in its entire life. It's going to be made the first weekend. So we have to put all our pressure there. But no one's making money. And the customer, the consumer, those of us who are actually kind of the advocates for the industry are getting frustrated. The whole system is broken. And the problem is once it's gone, which everyone seems to be, gung-ho for, once it's gone, we're not going to have those experiences in the movie theater that really were the formative experiences for us. And I think that's going to be the big casualty of all this. I don't know about you, but I'm sure we could go down the line and everyone can tell us which was the first Friday the 13th you saw in a theater and how great a day that was. Well, we're not going to have, there's a generation that's never going to experience that if we're not careful. The business needs to change so that there is a future.
I agree. One thing I did want to mention to the Obsoletionist and Raiho. Have you guys heard anything about the PlayStation 5 being backwards compatible with every PlayStation game going all the way back to the PS1? Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
Yeah, I think it's a rumor at this point.
Okay.
I think part 4 is a given. I mean, being compatible with 4 is a given. The problem is that the 3 had such unusual architecture, those cell processors. That one, and then the 2 had a little bit of a unique, layout. Those are the 2 that would be probably not cost effective, but if they do it, it'll be through straight emulation, kind of like the Xbox does it. It's what I think and what I've read.
See, I was hoping they would at least go back to to PlayStation 3.
Yeah. That would be great, and they could, but like I said, the 3 was very unique. It was very hard to program for and very expensive to develop.
Sony wants you to play in their playgrounds, Microsoft wants you to play in their playground. They don't really care about the hardware as much anymore, even though they're going to release what sounds like it's going to be a very high spec, high dollar system. Whereas I have a feeling Sony is going to do things differently. They're going to make it backwards compatible, but instead of you just like if you have an Xbox and you throw in a compatible original Xbox game, it'll take you it'll basically download the game from their store to your thing, and the disc is basically just your key to play it. You're just telling that system, I do have this in my possession. You're not really spinning the disc though once it gets inside there.
Right.
I don't think Sony's going to be willing to do that. I think their backwards compatible is going to be, we're going to offer a library of games from PS1 all the way through, but you're going to need to buy them from our store. We've got to be in charge of the money that we make off of these. I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe they'll let you throw your PS1 disc in or something because they don't care as much about that. But I have a feeling they're going to monetize the whole thing.
I agree.
That makes sense.
They've never done backwards compatibility well anyway. Like even from, I remember the PS2, like everyone's like, oh, it's going to play the PS1 games. But the weird thing about PS1 was that, and I may have talked about this before on the show, is that a lot of people thought it did like a 480, but it actually did like a 240, but it was like a weird 240. So 240p. So they like buffered it funny though. So like the games don't quite look right in any other format. So it's gonna be the same thing with the PlayStation 4, 5, whatever. They're not gonna quite look right unless you get that downloadable version that they've kind of like tinkered with or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they might give you the option to throw a disc in, but like I think they would be stupid to put PS4 compatible. The PS4 still sells at like $300. You still can't get a PS4 for a good price around here. I don't know about you guys, but
No.
like I could go buy an Xbox One S or something like that for like $200, but I can't even get close to that for a PS4. Like they're still selling like crazy.
Yeah, even like back during the holidays, like a PS4 Pro was still $400, $300.
That's great. Yeah, and they're still selling. Like it's just like PS2. It's literally like PS2 sold. I mean, it's the highest selling console of all time, I think, if you go look at the numbers, if you don't compare it to Nintendo DS or something like that. And the PS4 is on track. Like so they'd be stupid with PS5. But I think the Xbox is, I think they're going to come out with that tower, and it's going to be like, high end everything. I think they're going to come out with literally a thing that's like a box that just streams games. I really think they're going to have like a super cheap option, and it's just going to be, it'll stream the game right to your, with Game Pass or something like that. And I think a lot of the consoles are going to go that way, and then that'll be it.
Well,
I think so too.
They'll probably do with like, when they have like the second generation or third generation PS5s or the new Xboxes, they won't even have disc trays on them.
No, they won't. I literally think that they're going to have, maybe I'm wrong, but they're going to have an Xbox. Because right now I'm on like a beta program, and I can stream my Xbox games right to my phone, so I can like clip it onto my controller and play them on my phone if I can't use the TV. And they're also going to have stream from their server, from wherever, through a 5G connection or a Wi-Fi connection, the game right to your phone. So you're not going to need anything other than kind of like Stadia. You just need a Chromecast. Like it's going to be a similar thing. They're going to have like a little box that lets you stream those games, and maybe install them with a hard drive, like a small hard drive or whatever. But like the concept of, they're going to have that big tower for people that want to have the high spec thing. I think PS5 is going to be the same thing, because people want to have like a PC quality experience, but they want to pay $500 for it. So they're going to have that for them, but it's not going to live long.
Yeah. Speaking of Stadia, did that ever work?
If you have good internet, it does work. The problem is the business model is stupid.
They're awful. How many games have they offered now? 10?
There's nothing on it. Yeah. And they're all games you could play for cheaper somewhere else locally. Yeah. But I have played it before, and I will tell you that on even a decent Wi-Fi connection, it's not the laggy, buggy mess that they made it out to be in the early reviews. It does work, but you shouldn't be paying full price for a game that's been out for 2 years, 3 years. You shouldn't have to pay a subscription service just to have access to more games that you have to buy. It's like, if you're going to make me subscribe for $9 a month or $10 a month, I should get games that I could play for that $10 a month. No, that just gives you access to. What does it even do, Raiho? Do you know? I mean, like that.
There's a couple of games that they give you every month that are the free games. So, like, if you pay the subscription fee, you can have Tomb Raider, like not the last Tomb Raider, but the one before it, I think.
Right, the one that came out PS3.
Yeah, and I think they may have added 3 games. So there might be like 5 games in the library that you get for free, but you've been paying the subscription fee now for. Like you said, you can pay $50 for them. Like Game Pass is going to destroy that in such a way that it's not even fair. Like they're going to come up with a model where you pay a monthly fee, and it could be up to almost $20. It could be maybe $15 a month, we'll say. But you get all of those games. You don't got to buy anything. You just stream them.
Like, and if you bought one game a month at $60 a pop, look at all the money you've saved in that $15 a month streaming.
It's not even fair. And the games that are relatively new hit that service like all the time. Like if a game comes out and you're like, oh man, and it's not EA because EA will never hit it, but like if a game comes out, you're like, man, that looks interesting, but it's like $80 right now. You wait a few months. You don't even have to wait a few months and buy it for $40. Wait a few months and get it on Game Pass for free. Just download it. Like it's gonna be it's like, unless Stadia steps up and says we're gonna destroy the whole buy. You can buy a game if you want to, you can own it, but like any game on our service is on the service for the $10, $15 a month. If they don't do that, they're toast. Like, it's just
Is
it
Game
doesn't matter how good it is.
Xbox?
What's that?
Yeah.
The Game Pass is Xbox, right?
Yeah, that's their version of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I've been
Like I
doing
said,
it's like
they're-
October.
they're testing it. Like I've done the Xbox streaming to my phone. I've been playing Resident Evil 2 remake on it,
Yeah.
and it's seamless. Like I have not had a single problem. As soon as you sync it to your phone and bring it up, like it's like you're looking at your like it almost gives Switch a run for its money because Switch is so portable. Like
Right.
I really think when they launch this whole thing and you'll be able to stream, it doesn't give you every game on the stream. Like so, you can stream your console or you can stream from the web. That feature won't give you every game or whatever. But like if it's as good as this, like they really are going to give like Nintendo's going to be staring down the barrel because it's awesome.
Gears of
It
War
really is.
5 was on there like day one of launch, and they gave me 3 months of Game Pass for $1. So
I actually got 12 months for $1. They had a very brief thing where you could. What it was if you had whatever you had in your subscription for Xbox Live, you paid the $1, you got it. And I went in and I bought a year because I was up for renewal anyway, and then I paid the $1. So I've been on Game Pass for like a year for free.
oh really?
It's like
I mean they've got new games on there. Like I've been playing the new Wolfenstein. New stuff that
the
played.
new Blair Witch, which I didn't get to play yet, but like that went on almost. I was gonna buy that in August, and I was kind of like, oh, I'll wait because I didn't think I'd get to play it. And like within like I think it was like October, it was on there. It's like wait a few months, and there it is.
Is it Friday the 13th on there for free too on Xbox?
It is, yeah. That was like they had that as if you have Xbox Live Gold, you also get free games every month. You get 2 free games, and that was in October. I think was the free game on Xbox. Now I already had it on Xbox, so that was where I bought it when it first came out. I would love to get it for Switch because people that have the Switch, but it's full price. It's like $60, and I'm doing that again.
Yeah, no.
I would love to play it, but now I can stream it to my phone if I wanted to have it portable. It's an unbelievable service. It's going to blow everything out of the water when it happens, when everything comes down. But we'll see.
Well, Cameron's joined us. How's it going, Cameron?
I'm late again, so
That's all right. That's all right. Better late than never. I do want to say though, if you guys watching haven't thumbed up the stream, please give it a like. We'd appreciate it.
Are we still live?
We are still live. Yes.
Okay, I don't see the live thing on here, so I thought I was late again. That like you were off the air. Yeah, I'm doing good. Just really tired, really busy. Got a million things going on, but unfortunately, my kid doesn't fall asleep now until about 7:30 Pacific time, and so that's why I'm coming on here so late now.
No, that's understandable. My kids, I'm lucky to get them done by 9 sometimes. I just wanted to say, Cam, I've never watched, unfortunately, Twin Peaks in my life.
Okay.
But everything I see about your film, makes me want to watch your film. So I know you're busy, and so I just wanted to bring it up. Like, like if you guys aren't following Cam on Twitter and whatever, and like following this movie he's making, which is why he's so busy. I think, other than the kid, it's
work,
good.
all other stuff. Yeah, organizing everything. I have about 14 shooting days left. And then I will be completely thrilled because then I'll be done scheduling actors and locations and I can just edit. And that's, while busy and time consuming, at least it's just me and a computer. So,
yeah.
So how's the film
Are
going?
those bright ass outdoor lights behind you?
I'm sorry? Oh, yeah.
Those bright ass outdoor lights?
Yeah, I burned them out in about 45 minutes.
Damn.
They did not last long at all. So
how's the film going?
So far, so good. It's just very long hours, a lot of people, a lot of organization. Sometimes I don't even know until 24 hours before we start shooting where the location is, which is always fun.
and of course, you've got full permits, right?
Oh, absolutely. Can I tell a funny story?
Sure.
So last weekend we were filming in a state park, and it was closed, and so we kind of got in really early, and it was totally fine. Like we were there from 8 o'clock in the morning, and we had about 45 minutes left. It was about 4:15 in the afternoon, I'm like, great, we have 45 minutes left, and we're gonna get our stuff and get out of here. And then all of a sudden, the Ranger truck started pulling up, like in formation, like 2 at a time, coming down the road. So I went over and met with them, and they said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, we're just doing some photography." And they're just like, "Okay, well, this park this is closed." And I said, "Yes, we were told we couldn't camp here, but we thought we were fine here until dusk." And they said, "Well, we didn't even know anything was happening over here." And I said, "Oh," until I guess a couple of my actors got lost and stopped at the ranger station and asked them, "Is this where the filming is?" So we would have gotten away with everything and gotten everything we needed filmed, but unfortunately they busted up our filming, so we had to find another location to film the rest of it and match what we'd already shot, which is super fun. But yeah, let me tell you. So if you're ever making an independent film, tell your actors never ask authorities where the filming is.
That's funny.
Good call.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so far so good. It's just really busy, and the local newspaper here apparently wants to do a story on the filming. So we'll see if they run it. They don't know if it's gonna get past the editor, but they're interested. So
well, that's cool. That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah. Where can people go and hear about your film, Kim?
Well, there's Facebook. Just look up Queen of Hearts Twin Peaks fan film, or look up on Twitter. Was it Queen of Hearts TP, or at Queen of Hearts TP? Yeah, I posted a bunch of pictures and stuff like that. So I was kind of on and off about the Twitter account just because it used to get hit by trolls a lot, but I just figured, I'm 2/3 the way through the filming. They can't
the thing about Twitter is it's a fucking cesspool.
It is.
So it's just do it. Some people that like it will hit it, and
yeah. And I just also I started posting pictures on my own private account, and you start to quickly realize who likes stuff, who retweets stuff, who doesn't. And I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of seeing who's liking things and who's retweeting things. So I figure I just post them on its own Twitter account, and then just if people like it, great. But I'm done tagging people and stuff like that, because that was just, I felt like I was bothering people by doing that. But how else was I supposed to get the word out? So
yeah, it's funny the things that people will pay attention to and the things that people will just completely blow by and ignore. You pour yourself into something, nobody touches it. You make some lame comment as like a joke about something, and everybody loses their minds, and it's just ridiculous. Social media is stupid.
Well, what I think so funny, especially with the Twin Peaks fan community, if you hashtag Twin Peaks on anything, they will like it, they'll retweet it, they'll comment on it. Anything having to do with this project, they don't even touch it. They're not going near it. They're trying to pretend this thing doesn't even exist, which is very shocking to me, because if you just look at the amount of attention I'm putting into this thing, you would think they'd be like all for it, but they want to just pretend it doesn't exist. So
but I get the vibe from talking to you that like there's a huge section of the fan base that's really shitty.
Isn't that true with any fan?
Back in exactly. But like I remember you podcast and things like that. Like you got a lot of shit. You got a lot of shit from a lot of people.
But I also got a lot of support from a lot of people too. It's just the difference is like Star Wars, Star Trek. Those are huge fan bases, so you can kind of like weed people out. This thing is so niche that like everybody knows everybody.
I don't know why I've never watched it. Like it's one of those. I remember Cole brought over the DVD set one time to my apartment. This is way back, and we watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, "This is absolutely for me," and just never watched it again. Like
the first two seasons are on Netflix. So.
Yeah, well, we don't have them here, but there's a Canadian service called Crave that has the whole thing and the third season. I think is it the third season? Was the new season?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where they aired it in Canada, was on the service. So like I keep being like, just buy a month and watch it all. I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but I keep putting it off.
Yeah.
But.
Well,
all right. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Anybody
So
have?
Piz,
Sure.
should we have a giveaway?
No,
Why are you not shirtless? How did you do that? I had another shirt underneath it the entire time.
You should put that in like a shadow box and put it back there with the collection.
You want me to tear it in half on camera?
No, you can fold it and put it into a shadow box.
You want it destroyed?
No one's popping up in the chat. I don't know.
If anyone in the chat wants this thing, go to my YouTube channel. Hit me up for it. We'll make it work.
What size is it?
It needs to go to Good Home. I'd feel guilty because it's going to sit in a drawer forever, Piz. Honestly.
You're not going to wear it to the New Jersey HorrorCon?
Excuse me?
You're not going to wear it to the New Jersey HorrorCon?
I have something else I'm wearing there. I'm going to cosplay as a
tassels.
No.
No.
I'm not going as a cowboy. No. Well, Joe Bob, hit me up on. So no, I mean, honestly, I really won't wear it. So I'm going to make sure it goes to a good home, so you didn't waste your time and money, because I do appreciate your effort, even though it was completely misguided.
Good. I may bring you something also to New Jersey HorrorCon.
Did that sound like a threat to anyone else? Hey, Christian, you've been quiet way too long. You've been threatening that you want to come up to New Jersey soon. How soon would that be? Because my understanding is that October. It's a good month to be.
Yeah.
I also might be in the New Jersey area in the summertime. So,
all right.
It's a beautiful area.
You got okay.
I mean, I'll be with Mr. C. So if I do swing by, maybe we can. You can show me a Friday the 13th location. I get a picture with him there because I take him to all the horror sites.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
This will be on the other coast, though. That should be exciting.
Yeah.
Have to take him to the Blairstown Diner.
Everyone goes to the Blairstown Diner.
Take him to the Hope Cemetery.
So those neighbors love that. No one understands it's just a street. You can't even properly park. You can't. No. And everyone's slowly digging out the curve of that the edge of that curve from parking on it. But yeah, no. All right. Well, Christian, before October, remind me, because we got to carve out some time.
What's in October?
Yeah, I will.
Do you guys? Is it another HorrorCon in October? Or?
There's a holiday in October.
Yes, I know.
Okay. I didn't know if they did anything special at Tim Hortons for it, so you might not know.
No, you know what? They don't, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. That's too bad.
They save it all for Christmas. Yeah. No Thanksgiving shit either. So we have Thanksgiving in October as well. So.
Well, that's because Canadians don't like Indians, right?
No, that's well, it's not untrue. We're in the middle of a battle with the Wet'suwet'en tribe in northern Alberta, the country.
Wait,
that's not good.
Is this like an active battle? Like
basically the government wanted to put a pipeline of gas right through their territory, so they blocked it, and all of Canada has via rail. No trains moved for weeks. It's been crazy.
Wow.
Because people in solidarity for the Wet'suwet'en tribe.
They're the native. They're natives. They're native.
Yeah. But it's their land.
Yeah.
And the government really didn't consult them and try to put a pipeline in the middle of it. So they're like, yeah, fuck you guys. And here we are. It's been interesting for the last couple of weeks.
Well, where do you stand? Do you stand with the natives, or do you stand with the horrible corporate?
I think it's been tough the last while, right, in Canada for anything that has to do with moving gas or anything that's against the environment. Our prime minister won't come out with a proper plan for climate change, and it's been kind of a hot topic. And I think somebody needs to make a guideline, but like they're basically everyone's just kind of waiting for something like that to come down the pipe and explain what they think is going to happen. But that no one's allowed to pull gas out of the ground. No one's allowed to move gas. It's like no one knows what to do. And it's kind of been a weird time. So I guess I'm against wrongfully putting a pipeline right through somebody else's land. But at the same time, I don't think we need to be so afraid of it. We just need to come up with some guidelines that are good for the environment. But it's been kind of weird.
I hear you. Well, guys, let's go ahead and call it a night there. We've discussed a great many topics tonight, including fast food. And, yeah. So next week, live, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Sausage Factory YouTube channel, a live commentary for John Carpenter's Christine. You guys wanted it. You guys will get it next week. So, let me give some shout outs to everybody who's still in the chat with us tonight. Again, if you guys haven't liked the stream, please give the stream a thumbs up. That would be mighty kind of you. My buddy Dave Vanderhoff is here. Dave, what's up? Jeff Overing, Steak Sauce, Joe Bob Tarhill, Roland 666, Borderline 11, Dino Rabbit, Robert Long, Indy Phantom is in the house. Jess Graham is here as well. Horrid Films, what's up? Big Crack Rock, what's up, Big Crack Rock? Movie Man 95, Steve.
Sorry.
I don't know if you know this about me, Joe
Funny
Rogan,
ass name.
but I smoke rocks.
Big Crack Rock.
Big Crack Rock.
I love it.
E-Boogie is here with us tonight. Baby Herman. Crystal Lake Counselor 1977. Our buddy Chris is here tonight, or he was at least earlier. Dave Shaw. Shout out to Cola's Gay, who was also here earlier tonight as well. Always good to see him in the chat, or her. We don't know who it is. It could be male or female. We don't know.
Mysterious character.
I know, yes. A very mysterious character for many years on the show.
Many years.
Yeah. David Vines, Anthony Anderson. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Much appreciated. Thank you to all you guys on the panel tonight. Rahel, Gibbs, Andrew, Lauren, Christian, Cameron. Always good hanging out with you guys and talking movies. So, all right. Well, we'll see you guys next week right here on the Sausage Factory YouTube channel for our Christine live commentary. Until then, take care. Peace.